Welcome to Little Bracket of Horrors.
Little bracket of horror.
The pod that puts the fight in fright.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Derek, and today we got a special episode. I'm talking to a couple friends about our top horror films of 2024. So let me introduce them. From Lakeland, it's Lisa R. So welcome, Lisa.
Hello.
And Roger R.
Hello.
You make it so awkward.
I'm just saying hello. I'm Lisa's husband.
Yes.
We've been married for many years.
Mm-hmm.
That's her dog Brody. He wants to participate as well.
Yeah, we got a couple outlying co-hosts as well.
Yeah, we have
in cages.
2 dogs and a kid.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sitcom for a Friday night.
It is. So we are here today to talk about our favorite 5 horror films of 2024. I know we were just chatting it up a little bit, but it's been a while since Roger and I were out hanging out last weekend. But Lisa, what are you up to? What's going on?
What I've been up to, like I said, life's been busy hanging out. Shelly and I actually started a book club, so we're meeting in March. We're really excited about that.
Is it dirty books?
No, it's not. It's not smut. That was rule number 1.
Yeah. My wife is also part of that book club. She's in the mix. What's the name of the first book you guys are reading? I forgot.
It's a series, but the first book's called #MurderTrending.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm 2 chapters into it, and yeah, it's a pretty quick read.
Yeah.
But so far, it's reminded me of like Hunger Games meets The Purge.
Do you have a name of the group yet?
Ooh, yeah. What's the name of the reading club book with the ladies? Is that the name of it? Because that flows off the tongue.
The name of the club is The Midnight Society.
Oh, like the show.
Oh,
like the show.
Are you afraid of?
Are you afraid of the dark? Yep.
Yes. Roger, did you have anything to say? You were looking at me with your.
I would have called it like reading rain bitches or something like that, like reading rainbow, and just but that's just me.
I like the Midnight Society.
Thanks.
That's fine.
I like it.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Fine. That's fine enough. Awesome. And Roger, thank you again for hanging out with Ray and I to do Dash Cam. I appreciate it, bud.
You took me out to some pizza after.
I did. I sure did.
So
I took you out.
well worth it.
Well worth it to get pizza.
Yes.
To drive to Pinellas County.
Not to
talk
see
about
Derek.
Dash Cam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Derek is fine too.
Yeah, I'm
we got
fine.
some mellow mushroom. Talked about our dead dads and.
Oh my gosh.
Dead Dad Club.
Dead Dad Club, and that was it.
Is that the name of the club? There's no special name for it?
No, we don't even have a handshake. We just look at each other and we say Dead Dad
Dads unite
together.
Yes.
For Mellow Mushroom.
Yes, that's our meeting area. Like, can I get a Buffalo pizza?
All people with dead dads go to Mellow Mushroom. It's just universally known.
It's a thing.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, I love my formats. So this show is also formatted, but I just wanted to break down how the show is going to sound for you guys. So first off, we have a section called Horror in 2024, and that's just some stats I found like for theatrical releases that I'll go over. After that, we have our top 5 roundtable, and that's where we are each going to go through our list. We'll start with 5. We'll all go through our 5, then circle back around, go through 4, and we'll just work our way to our number 1 films. And then after that, we're going to go through some honorable mentions, films that we liked but just didn't make the cut. And then after that, we'll have dishonorable mentions, maybe some films that were busts or like were hyped up that we were excited about and didn't quite meet expectations. And then after that, just like with our normal episodes, we try to involve our listeners as much as possible. So we have a Voices from Beyond for this episode as well, but I asked you guys your top 5 horror films, and I got a couple of submissions, so I'm excited for that section. And then to finish off the episode today, we're having a looking forward to 2025, where we're going to bring up any movies that we saw that are slated for the next year that we're excited about, and we'll just run through that list as well. So yeah, that's how the show is formatted today. We're excited to get into it. I'm super excited to have Roger and Lisa on today. And with that said, let's get into horror in 2024. So take this all with a grain of salt because I got this information from numbers.com. So who knows if it's legit, but I figured this was some interesting information to kick us off with some background on horror films theatrically last year. So we had 43 theatrical releases in 2024. Total gross for horror this year. Do you guys want to take a guess? What do you think horror brought into the box office this year?
Now, are these stats just theatrical, right?
Yes, it's
Nothing
just
special or okay.
Nothing that's like straight to streaming. None of that stuff. It was in the movie theaters.
$1.2 billion.
That's a lot.
Okay, 1.2 billion.
43. That's a lot of movies.
It is a lot of movies.
I just but the look Derek gave you, I suck at this. So I don't know, 500 million.
Okay, not so bad. Pretty
Okay.
close. It was $868 million.
Okay.
$1. I bid $1.
Okay.
This isn't the Price is Right.
Thank you.
Damn it.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so $868 million. Good for the horror industry. The highest grossing film of the year. What do you guys think the highest grossing film of the year was?
Of
2024.
horror movies?
Yes. Movies that came out in 2024 that we're talking about.
I'm going to go with Alien Romulus.
Romulus?
Yes.
Okay. Lisa?
I'm torn between two. I'm gonna go. Ooh. It all depends on how you define horror too. Maxine.
Maxine? Okay. Roger was closer. I think Alien Romulus was like number 2 or 3.
Was it Nosferatu?
But it was A Quiet Place Day 1
Oh.
with $138,930,553 at the box office. So almost $138 million for alone for A Quiet Place. So good for John Krasinski. Is he still involved with that? Right, he
I
created
think so.
it.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Good
so
for him.
good for him. So lowest grossing film.
Nosferatu.
Whoa, my what? Actually, Nosferatu was higher up on the list, but
it's probably some indie.
it's
Like
it's
$27,000.
Tarot.
Oh, Tarot? No, I think that went straight to Shudder. I don't think that did
No,
that go to the
yeah.
theater?
It went
did.
to theater.
It was in theater for like a week.
You know what? Now
Yes.
that I'm thinking about it, I wish I would have printed up the complete list and had that as a reference, but I don't. I just
Letter-
had the highest and the lowest.
Letterbox.
Letterbox, you can filter that.
Oh, you can?
By year
Yeah.
in genre.
Okay. But the lowest grossing film of 2024 was a film called The Seeding, which only made, how much do you think the lowest grossing film made?
100,000.
$800.
Ooh, okay. At least it's closer. $4,974 for The Seeding.
How is she closer? She said $100,000.
I said 100,000.
Oh, I
I
thought you
didn't
said
say
1,000.
1,000.
No, I said
Oh.
800. Derek.
Oh, I thought you said 1,000. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I said
Derek,
100,000.
So
Roger.
Derek can't do math.
Or listening skills.
Tattletale. Gosh.
I'm just
jeez.
calling it out as I see it.
Calls these as he sees these. Moving on. Production/publishing companies, not publishing, distribution companies. Who do you think put out the most film? I'm making this a guessing game now. This is fun.
Oh, okay.
Who do you think, what production/distribution company put out the most films this year
Wait.
theatrically?
What are all the production companies?
Paramount, Fox,
A24.
I'm gonna go.
Universe.
I'm gonna go with A24 as well.
A24 is your guess?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Miramax.
A24 was second.
Damn it. Universal?
IFC Films.
IFC. Okay.
IFC put out 6 theatrical releases this year. I'll list them off real quick just so everyone knows. Late Night with the Devil,
Nice.
In a Violent Nature, Oddity, Stop Motion, Getaway, and Blood Axe Wound. The most recent were Getaway and Blood Axe Wound. Lisa's making notes about something. So yeah, IFC put out the most. A24 was close with, I think they put out 4 releases last year, and a
Yeah.
Neon was on there.
I love me A24 movies.
Yeah. So
Don't roll
okay.
your eyes.
They're hit or miss for me.
What I
Understood.
like about them is that they let the filmmakers make their movie. And they don't intervene.
They give freedom. I do
yeah,
love that.
That's what I like about it.
I'm just gonna say one word, and I think I know Shelly will get it, but Men. That horrific movie.
I never saw it.
It was crazy at the end, but it was
Oh
good all the
my
way up, and the ending was just really
Very-
weird and
is
out
it,
there.
Is it triggering? Is it?
It's
No,
not.
it's
It's
just
not
weird.
triggering. I mean, you can.
It's open for interpretation.
Is
type
it?
of
Yeah.
ending.
Is it pretentious?
It's just you're just like, what the bleep did I just sit through
It's
and
not
watch?
not the movie that I was expecting
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, I've actually heard on a couple different podcasts about movies this year. Some people complained about the marketing for films because they went in expecting something,
Yes.
and they didn't necessarily hate what came out, but it ruined their experience, at least the first time, because they were expecting this scary movie, but it was more art house or whatever. So I can understand.
Yeah, I agree with that because there are certain ones. It's funny. It's either hit or miss. The trailer tells you everything. You're like, well, I know. And then the trailer gives you a different perspective. And then you walk in and you're like, wait, what? One of the 2024s that we'll talk about, I had that experience.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's get into our roundtable of our favorite horror films of 2024. So let's start with our number 5. Roger, what's your number 5 film of 2024?
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
It
I'm the kick
is
drum.
In a Violent Nature, Derek.
Oh, okay.
Number
All right.
5.
Nice.
What I liked about this one was the different approach to a slasher film where it was POV with the killer basically the entire time.
Yeah.
In the last 20 minutes, where people complained the most about was actually my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I argue that if this movie was written by Quentin Tarantino, people would praise it because it wasn't. They complain about the last 20.
It's a Canadian production, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I forget who directed it, but yeah.
But that's how I compare it of when people complain about it. But
yeah.
But other than that, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I remember at the theater, a lady during one of the kill scenes, a lady threw up her arms and said "fuck this" and just walked out.
Yeah,
really?
that happened.
I'm dying to experience like a reaction in a movie theater, and like I've went and watched like the Terrifier movies, and I was hoping to see someone react. I've yet to see anyone react in a movie. So
Which I'll be honest, I remember that part, and I'm like, this isn't that bad of a part for her to do that.
I think it was just the all the kills that came before, and just building it up. I think that just broke her.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what? I'm done. This isn't my movie for me. Her husband, she had to drag her husband out. Husband's like, oh,
I would like to discuss which part that is off this podcast because I'm intrigued and I think I know which part it is just because of time frame of the movie and all that. But that's so that's a great number 5.
You can currently watch it on Shudder. If you're
it is on Shudder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a Shudder exclusive, and they released it in theaters.
That's right. Cool. Nice. All right. So I'm going to hold my opinions on A Violent Nature. Samesies. Okay. So we're moving on. So Lisa, what's your number 5?
Before I get into it, I do want to, because Roger and I were talking about this morning, and I'm giving a disclaimer. I don't view horror as other people do.
Okay.
And even like through the podcast that you guys have had horror movies on here, I don't necessarily view that as horror. I'm a old school cult classic, Nightmare on Elm Street. Like that's my definition of horror. Now I understand that it has broadened the scope of it, and we have psychological and we have sci-fi and da. So in order for me to participate in this, I definitely had to drop my thinking. Because there's things on this list that I still wouldn't quantify as horror, but I did it because I wanted to participate. So I guess being brought up on it, especially with my 4 older brothers, that's hard to me. It clicks in there. Having that type of feeling that's hard to describe, that it's like, ooh. Yeah. Like, you know.
And very true, because I think when you do grow up, when you're a little kid watching all this stuff, and there were like those specific style movies that you were watching. So it makes sense that, you know, what you consider horror is what this thing that you grew up with. So I totally understand that. It makes sense.
Well, that's cool. That's what makes it fun, Derek and Lisa, is that even seasoned directors have trouble defining what horror actually is, and that that line between a horror and a thriller or a mystery,
psychological.
You know, I've watched many movies where I think about it afterwards. I'm like, oh, is it really a horror movie? Because I don't feel anything. Where if I watch something that's, you know, straight horror or like a Nightmare on Elm Street and all that, might not listen to those feelings per se. So I think it's up to the person to decide for themselves what they think is a horror movie and what they don't think, or what based on their reaction. But it's just like movies, you know. All our top 5s are going to be different from the listeners to us here, and everything. That's what makes subjectivity of watching of, you know, music, entertainment. What makes it fun when you can discuss it and argue about it. But you know,
it's a subjective genre, I feel.
It is, and it more than anything else, it has all these different subgenres. Because even like drama, comedies, like you don't have as many subgenres as you do with horror. Like, you know, and especially as modern times are coming, and we're getting movies like Dashcam that are like sort of found footage, but it's just a completely different style of found footage. So We could go down an absolute rabbit hole.
We
of this,
could.
but it's a great point as to what you said, as what you view as horror. You had to open up a little bit to work on your list for this year. So, do take away your
So, my number 5 is A Quiet Place Day 1.
Okay.
I'll be honest, the other two movies, they were okay. They were average for me. I went in because I'm not a huge prequel person, so I'm like, but I was fully entertained.
Yeah.
I thought the acting was great. The storytelling was phenomenal. It just flowed very well. And I'm going to be honest, I bawled my eyes out at the end. I was crying on the couch. We did not see it in theaters. We had to stream it at home, but I was just crying so hard. I think Roger was even crying at one point. And by the time we watched this, November had happened. The presidential nominees had happened. So a lot of emotion.
It was a heavy time.
It was.
I like to defend there was something in my eye that day or what.
Oh, whatever.
No, I'm joking.
All
No,
day?
but
All day?
That's what makes that movie great is that it's an emotional punch in the stomach more than it is about the monsters.
It said so
really
much with so little dialogue because we had to be quiet.
Yes.
So it was.
About this movie,
It was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
You would die in a heartbeat if that happened in real life. We discussed this.
Oh, I would
It would be so
fart.
difficult.
My farts would give me away, and I'd be
That's
dead.
what I'm saying. When if you had to sneeze or any bodily noise, like in real life,
Involuntary
everyone would be
things.
dead within a day because of that.
Yeah.
Or if you had to pee
Yeah.
or poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, oh, now I'm dead.
We always
Taking
come
a
down
shit
to
in this thing's
exactly. We always come down to movies like this, or even zombie movies, or walkers, however you want to determine it. And it breaks my heart. But he's like, we would have to let the dogs go. They would be a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And those are my
that would
babies.
Suck. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I have not seen the Quiet Place movie yet, but I've heard
Recommend.
I've heard great things about it. So I'll definitely. Where do you know where is it streaming anywhere?
Paramount
Paramount.
Plus.
Paramount Plus, perfect. I got a subscription. So, all right. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go into my 5th movie, and it is Lisa Frankenstein.
Really?
Yes. I saw this in the theaters early in the year with my friends Brian and Kyra, and I had a blast. Directed by Zelda Williams, written by Diablo Cody, and I think they perfectly captured the essence.
Brody did not like Lisa Frankenstein.
No, she's. It was dishonorable movie for her. But yeah, so I think they perfectly captured the comedy horror film, and it reminded me a lot of Heathers, and as this like dark, twisted teenage tale. So it makes sense because Diablo Cody also wrote what was it, Jennifer's Body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that's just match made in heaven. And I think what made this film successful for me, because I was like, oh, they're doing like a take on the Frankenstein story, is that they didn't focus on the monster. He was just a tool for Lisa to complete.
All men are tools. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, there you go.
Not
There you go.
seen it, Derek. So watch your horror mouth.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of Lisa, Catherine Newton, who played Lisa, I thought her performance was amazing. I've been becoming a fan of hers recently, and she was at Spooky this year.
Yep.
Yes.
She was so bubbly and fun. Like, I'm a fan of Catherine Newton's, and she's from Florida, isn't she? I think she's from the Miami area.
I think
or
so.
something.
Possibly.
I really like her tracksuits. They're very bright.
Very bright and pink.
But she was so sweet. Like when she was walking into the Q&A and like walking past people in line, she was saying hi. And she was just so giving and so generous with her time. And like when she was answering questions, like you could tell like she doesn't take any of this stuff for granted. So it's always cool to see a young actress, absolutely love what they're doing and not feel jaded by it all yet. So, and I will say about the film, I also know a lot of people are getting tired of the whole 80s aesthetic in movies. We had like Maxine this year.
No, you can never get tired of 80s aesthetic.
80s will never die.
But we're getting beat over the head with it a lot. But I loved
True.
it. I loved it in this
Yeah.
film. If anyone knows me, like bright and bold colors, like sign me up. Like I love that shit.
Well,
the
go
90s
ahead. The 90s are now the new popular.
80s, yeah. The
It's
90s,
the new
mid
80s. So that's coming around a lot of shows now. I'm like, oh god, we're old. We're officially
Yeah,
there.
I know. The retro is when we were kids. It's weird. It's weird to live life, right?
Everyone's dressed like the 90s now too.
I know my niece is rocking torn jeans, big jeans now. and-
Jenkos.
Jenkos.
And she's got flannels, and it's just like, man.
I know I should have kept all my. If you would
No.
have kept all your high school clothes, you'd be rich right
'cause
now.
yeah,
You'd have been
exactly.
sitting on it. I had Billabong
Exactly.
shirts.
Yeah, Billabong shirts. So to finish out, it was a fun movie, surprising gore and some funny moments. Highly recommend it. And I think it's a good introductory film for people who want to get into it. So it's a good stepping stone, and I was a fan of Lisa Frankenstein. Moving on to our number 4. Roger, what was your number 4 for 2024?
Number 4 on the list is Long Legs.
Long Legs.
Daddy!
Hail Satan.
Save me!
Go ahead.
Yes, I like this one. Nicholas Cage, but not like out in front. He was kind of more the supporting character, the guy.
Yes.
But I like it was kind of like a mix between like Silence of the Lamb meets something. I can't remember. Yeah, something like that.
I said the same thing.
Yeah. So you follow the FBI agent around, try and track down the killer type of movie, which is fun, and it's a little evil, which I like. And what did the director? Oh yeah, the director.
Osgood Perkins.
Yeah, put in a lot of reference to Satan throughout the movie. So
Yeah.
If you rewatch it, it's fun trying to find them all. Because I found like 3 when I watched it the first time, not thinking about it. And there's like 15
Yes.
hidden
15,
in the movie.
yeah.
So it's really cool. But I highly recommend this one. Came out theatrically, and
Did you see it in the theaters?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So you
Yeah,
both went together.
We brought her, I keep saying her, but our nephew to it, right?
Yeah, we brought Thor.
Yeah. And he's like, "What did you
Yeah.
bring me to?"
At one point, he nudged me because I was sitting in the middle of them, and Thor was on my left side, and he's like, "Lily, what the hell are we watching
Like,
right
I'm
now?"
freaking out right now.
I'm kind of freaking out because Cliff Notes, we were brought up very Catholic in our family, and my brother
Okay.
James stuck to those, which is fine, and the kids are raised that way. So,
Yeah.
like, seeing the satanic stuff, and he was like,
It's a lot of it.
I don't like this.
Yeah. It can make you feel a certain type of way
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Anything else you wanted to say about Roger?
No, I just like Satan. So any
Nice,
movies that
nice.
feature that and kind of push religion down a notch is okay with me. So
A little balance in life.
A little balance,
the good
yeah.
with the evil.
wait
yeah.
till we get to my number 1 movie.
All right.
I will say this, adding on, Long Legs is not on my list whatsoever, but it was a decent movie. But to Roger's point and what we just talked about, the 90s references throughout the movie, but it wasn't like thrown in your
Yeah.
face. It was just strategically placed in the background. I appreciated
Did
that.
you see? I think it was in the head investigator's office was a picture of Bill Clinton.
Yep. Yeah.
I was like, oh, hey, Bill
This is
Clinton.
the 90s.
I said, okay, so this is set in the 90s.
I met Bill Clinton in '92.
Did you?
Yeah, in the McDonald's with Hillary and Secret Service agents because running for that was when he was running before he became president the first time. He was running 92 primary in New Hampshire, and we were up there visiting my sister
Wow.
at a mall, and Secret Service agents walked in, and so did him and Hillary, and he came over and shook our hand, said hello, and said he's running for president.
Oh,
And
that's
I got
nice.
mustard on his hand because I was eating spicy mustard with my fries, and I shook his hand and got over his hand to get
Well,
a napkin to wipe it off.
I'm sure Bill has had many of fluids on his fingers. so-
Exactly. I was about to say, did you wash your hands after you touched
Yeah.
his?
He took my mom to the back for like 20 minutes. I don't know what was going on.
Was your
But-
mom in a blue dress or suit?
Yeah. She came out with like some vanilla milkshake on it, so I didn't
Yeah.
know what that was, but you know,
Probably
it's all
took
cool.
it to the food court.
But he swore he didn't have sex with that woman, so you know, you never know.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving
Anything
on.
else, Derek?
So,
did you have anything to
I'm gonna hold my opinions on
Okay.
Long Legs for
Okay.
later. Did you wanna? You said it's not on your list at all.
It's not on my list. That's why I added the.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Fun. So, Lisa, what about you? What's your 4th?
My 4th is In Violent Nature.
Oh, I am surprised. I am
Really?
surprised. Yes,
Why?
I didn't because
That it's on the list at all, or this?
that it's on your list that high. Well, that it made your top 5.
You thought it would be on her naughty list?
No, I didn't think it would be on our naughty list, but I thought we talked when you went to see it, and I felt like you said something about like this isn't for everyone. So I thought
it's not.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was like speaking for yourself.
Oh,
like,
no.
being on the other side. So
No,
okay,
I
this is cool.
apologize for that. No.
No, you should not. That was my interpretation of what you said.
No, and I still hold true to that. It's not for everybody. It is a slow burn movie, guys.
Yeah.
And if you get easily bored, you're gonna sit there and probably fall asleep. So that's what I meant by that. But I actually enjoyed it for numerous reasons. A different viewpoint,
Yes,
which I appreciate, because I don't think we've ever had a film like that in this genre that provides a viewpoint like that.
We've
It's-
done they've done like POV here and there, but not like the
Not
entire
like
movie.
this, not the entire
Not
movie.
us just sitting on his shoulders and
Yeah.
like a little kid and him taking us through this
Yeah.
crazy film. Yeah.
Not understanding. I'm just gonna say without giving spoilers. Not understanding the villain's viewpoint, which is unique.
Mm-hmm.
I also loved the cinematography. I can speak good, guys. I enjoyed it, like just the nature and hearing the sounds and even the walking and the crunching. I was like, oh, I like this. And then also too, it gives you a different type of suspense. I do appreciate the kills because I feel like some of the kills mimicked the characters in their real life and kind of complemented it. I thought it was strategically placed out. So I fully enjoyed this movie.
Awesome.
It's definitely a love it or hate it
Agreed.
type of movie. Either
Yeah.
you really liked it or you
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw polarizing opinions. Like some people I'm friends with on Facebook went to see it, and they had like a mommy daddy date night, and they went to see it, and they trashed it. They're like, do not waste your time. And this was before I went to see it, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's a dud. But to what Lisa said, we like to go for nature walks. We went for the Shenandoah Trail last year, Roger.
And I watched it right before we left.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Yeah. So I was like,
That's
oh, man,
awesome.
man, this.
But
this-
the moments that were slow in it that maybe people didn't like I was enjoying nature. I was enjoying the sounds. I was enjoying the scenery of it all. So, Violent Nature's
I do
want
want to add with this one too. If you write and you write well, that's all you need. You don't need special effects. You don't need this banging soundtrack. And for me, this movie did it.
Yeah.
It let the storytelling just tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was lean, but it was right to the point. And if you enjoy what it had to offer, then it was a sweet spot for you.
Well, I think the hype killed it for people because they just went into it thinking it's going to be like this amazing, like, oh my god, it's the best Flesh movie ever. But it's different, and I think it's just the hype got to people, and when they went in and saw what it was and realized what they're in for, they're like, oh, this wasn't what I was expecting. But I think that's what people's negative opinions really come from, is the hype.
Yeah, but I think that's maybe one of the things about the hype or the novelty of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just a party trick and then that's it. Like, it is a party trick, but it's got a lot to it because you follow the story and it's got a lot to offer as well, and not just a party trick. So it's not on my list, but I'm going off on a tangent on it because it was
fun
a good
to
movie.
talk about this stuff.
It was a good movie. So okay, so that takes us through your 4. Now it's my turn.
I'm anxious. Like, what is it? Yeah.
Okay, you guys are staring at me with the most intense eyes ever. So it's Oddity. Oddity.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So Irish film. I'm getting a high five from Roger.
Well, it's just a good movie.
Yeah, high five. It's an Irish film directed by Damien McCarthy, and surprisingly scary. And I think that says more about me being desensitized to horror films. But this one was good, and it did come to me via our friend of the podcast, Quinlan, who recorded our St. Maud episode with us. So I wanted to give him a shout out because he recommended this to me on the podcast to check out Oddity. And I enjoyed the setting with the house and the countryside and how you really felt like the isolation and fear as the movie progressed. And it has one of my favorite jump scares of this year. I'm not going to go into great detail about that moment, but what makes it so good is the fact that, like, anyone could do a jump scare. It's just like a sound and, like, this thing appears. So, all right, great. But what makes a great and a masterful jump scare is the thing that is jump scaring you being completely unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, I was like, it jumped on the screen, and then we were sitting with it, and I was like, get it out of my face.
See, I'm not going to go into too much details for reasons.
Okay.
But there's 2 jump scares in that movie. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Does it rival the jump scare from what was it?
Haunted on
oh yeah.
Hill House,
Yes,
that
Hill House,
series.
yes.
Oh man.
that was
that was the
great.
best when I got Lisa. I didn't tell her about it.
You didn't get me. Your surround sound got me.
I turned it up a little louder if I knew it was coming.
Yes. So to finish off, the protagonist, Darcy, she had, like, the clairvoyant psychic powers, and I thought they were very useful in the film. And I loved the look and function of the wooden mannequin. Thing was creepy and extremely nightmarish, and I loved it. So great story as well. Visually beautiful. Cinematography was great. Not a lot wrong with this one, so it's a high recommend for me, and that's why it's on the list, and it's at 4. So Oddity.
It's best experience with the lights completely off.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
and
It's
sound
one of
up.
the yes.
So we didn't get to watch that in the theaters.
Was it?
It was
in the
home.
theaters?
I think limited
No,
release.
it was because we saw the trailer for it.
Yeah.
A couple times.
It was
Oh,
a
did it?
I
limit.
think it goes in and out
release.
real quick.
Yeah.
Goes. I think is it A24?
I think. Yeah, I'd have to go.
I don't remember.
Don't
But
quote. Don't quote us on
But
that,
it was
viewers.
also a Shudder exclusive. And Violent Nature was in and out too, so
Yeah.
I think it was just they put it out for a little
But-
bit and took it back.
To Roger's point, if you're going to stream it at home, lights out, completely quiet, turn it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pump it up.
Pump it
We'll
up.
get to that later.
Gosh.
All right. So,
I have many opinions on that. Go ahead.
All right. So that takes us to our round 4. So let's get into round 3. Roger, what's your third?
The bronze medal.
The bronze.
of
Yeah.
The bronze?
The bronze.
Rogers
Okay.
list goes to
Da-da-da-da.
The Substance.
The Substance. A very,
Starring-
very new one.
Starring Demi Moore, who just
Demi.
won the Golden Globe last week for that one.
Yeah, that's sick.
There's a lot of nudity in it.
Did
a
you
lot
like
of
that he said it was sick?
Yes, very sick. So
Ba-da-da-ch.
there's a lot of boobs,
Yes.
some vagina. So for the dudes out
Yeah.
there that want to
Bush.
check it out,
Bush.
yeah, you
Bush.
see it
You
all.
see Bush.
But
Did we see any wiener? We didn't see any
no
wiener.
wiener.
No.
It's
No
just,
wiener.
Just the girls.
More of a wiener count next time.
You don't want to eat shrimp after this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Did you
Let's-
you saw it, right?
Yes.
You saw
we
the
can,
Substance. Okay.
we can talk about that part more.
Yeah.
And
later.
I was just Dennis Quaid eating shrimp. It was pretty gross.
Ugh.
But it works with the movie, and that's the whole point. But
Can I say something about, and
Yes.
I'm so sorry to interject.
Yep.
But out of all, this is a body horror film. Out
Yeah.
of all of the body horror in the film, the shrimp was the
Yes.
most disgusting. It
I
was
wanted
the
to-
noise.
I wanted to turn it off.
It was the noise. It was the close up. Oh my gosh.
nom, nom, nom,
It was
nom.
and the
It was-
hands getting dirty. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I'm like, "Tell me when it's done." And I looked down.
We should have got shrimp and just started eating it while we were podcasting.
So gross.
But I liked it a lot. It's one of those movies where I was watching it and I was like, okay, it's good, and it was over, and I was just like, it kind of. I've been still thinking about it. Since I watched it, and I want to watch it again really bad, and I'm waiting for it to come on 4K Blu-ray so I can buy it and so watch it again. But it's a movie that it's slow. It's slow paced, but it hits you in the gut a lot, and the message that it sends about how Hollywood eats you up and spits you out once they get what they can get from you. How it's run by old men past their prime, but they kick the women out the minute they don't find them attractive. Not really getting anything away.
I
you
mean,
get
it's
that from the
pretty
trailer.
apparent,
You get
yeah.
that from the trailer.
Exactly. It's right out.
But the question is, would you take the substance?
would I take this substance?
Would you take the substance to make a better version of yourself?
No. Are
No.
you kidding me?
It would just come out looking like Ian probably. I would assume. He's like, all right, let's do it.
But I don't want to go through the transformation, and what needs to happen to you for the other one
Yeah.
to be.
And let's just face
Painful.
facts. I don't need to take it. I'm already the best version of myself.
Boom.
Good and bad, ugly
Touchdown,
and
home
pretty,
run, all
and
that shit.
everything in between.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
Oh, I will say, you talked about the 4K. I don't know if it's the 4K, but the video store in Tampa, Viper Video, I saw them post yesterday that, I don't know, it might be the Blu-ray that they got, but they had the substance come in.
Oh.
So they're on Instagram, you can go check them out.
It listed as the 21st, I thought,
Oh,
coming
really?
out. But they might have got it.
What is-
They usually
be-
stores usually get like 4 or 5, 6,
Yeah.
7 days in advance.
But anyone in the Tampa area want, check out physical media, go check out Viper Video.
I love
Random.
love physical media.
I know you do.
I
so
do.
Yeah.
But
That's crazy.
the director, I didn't write her name down. I forgot. But she did her first movie called I had it
Revenge.
earlier. Revenge. Thank you. Revenge.
Yes.
And you can see how that movie shot is very similar how The Substance is shot, but it's really, really, really good, just like The Substance is.
Yeah.
Highly recommended both. Yeah, that's it.
Sick.
Sick.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself on the
On the
substance,
substance?
for the
and
time
you gotta
being.
pump it up.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yes, there is lots of pussy popping in the.
That was
camera.
actually one of my qualms with it was that it was too much of a music video, and yeah. Anyways, we're getting off on a tangent.
But it makes sense why they did it.
I understood the whys, but yeah, I was like, can I stop looking at Sue's crotch for a little bit?
Oh,
please?
you're selling more Blu-rays.
there you go.
That's all you're doing.
Go to Viper Video, everyone. All right, Lisa, what about you?
My third choice, my bronze, is Maxine.
Okay, Maxine. Yes. And we
I-
just covered X, so topical to the podcast.
So I loved all three. Ty West did a great job from X to Pearl to Maxine. I love that it was set in the 80s. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It
it
sucked
looked
me
great.
right
It
in.
looked
The
good, yeah.
soundtrack was slamming.
Hollywood looks so dirty too.
He captured
grimy.
it.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah,
it
right.
is. Yeah, well,
But Ty just does a great job with all three of these films that he put together in this trilogy, which I think he got greenlit for a fourth one. Don't quote me. I
They're
think.
really?
Thinking about it.
Yeah,
But they
so
don't need
just
it.
Maxine's story continuing.
possibly. I don't know. That's
I would
hearsay.
If we're doing something, I would want more Pearl. I gotta be honest.
But like in each of these movies, he caught the cinematography, the sound, the look, how it was shot in that decade, and he just does a brilliant job with that. The storyline I thought was okay. I think Mia Goth does a great job as acting as her.
Yes.
And then also I just loved the how lush it looked, the vibrant colors, how everything was like the shots were crafted perfectly, released the nostalgia. But what I also liked is the subcontents of it. Yes, we're on this journey with Maxine to see where she goes, but what she does in Hollywood to get famous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still like that to this day. What do you do and sacrifice so you could be a Hollywood star?
And nothing points to that more than the opening scene, her audition,
Yep.
where like she gives it, but then it gets to this other point. You're like, was that necessary? But that's Hollywood.
Yep. The
So-
cost of fame. Yeah. So Maxine's my
Yeah.
third. I thought Ty did another great job, and I look forward to more stuff from Ty West.
Oh yeah,
Derek, what is your bronze?
my
medal?
bronze. So my bronze is Late Night with the Devil.
Nice.
This was the funnest movie that I watched this year. David Dastmalchian, I hope I'm saying his name right.
He's great.
He should legit be a talk show host. I thought he did an amazing job as the charismatic late night entertainer, and I just dug his performance. I really liked this movie's approach. It combined a couple different genres, such as like found footage / documentary with like supernatural and possession. A lot of stuff going on in this movie. And I can't say that I've seen another movie take place on a late night talk show set, and they pulled it off beautifully. Actually, now that I'm thinking, have you ever seen Ghost Watch,
No.
the British mockumentary?
No.
Where they're
No.
like it's a show on BBC called Ghost Watch. This is how the movie's presented, and they're talking about this house that has this like poltergeist possession thing going on, and it's sort of like that a little bit, but it's not like a crazy jump scare movie with like any crazy stuff going. It's much more subtle. But I think Ghost Watch is on Shudder if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay,
Thanks.
cool. Off on a tangent on that. But yeah, so this being set on the talk show studio was awesome. I even liked the behind the scenes stuff when we got those shots, and it gave us a little context of what was going on. Really enjoyed it. With that in mind, cinematography was amazing, capturing that 70s look. And anytime the Bohemian Grove is mentioned in a movie, my ears perk up and I get excited about, occult stuff going on. So surprising moments with cool special effects. Another great movie to add to if anyone has a list of horror films to watch during Halloween time that are based during Halloween, you can add this one to the list. And I just wanted to shout out Colin and Cameron Carneys, the two Australian brothers who wrote, directed, and edited this film. They fucking knocked it out of the park. This was initially, when I first watched it, this was a number one. But I saw a couple films that edged this out a little bit.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
you ask me on another day, it could be a number one. But for the sake of this podcast, I had to make some decisions. And Late Night with the Devil was so awesome. Highly recommend.
I'll keep my commentary to myself.
I love it. I love it.
I agree, Derek. This is a good movie. I like the ending because it's kind of open ended a little bit, and I made a comment to Joe, my director friend, and what I thought and what it means, and he's like, you know what, I'll go back and watch it like that again because I didn't even think about that, and
Yeah.
but it's really good. You know, I like Satan. So
It's
you
Satan
know,
again.
so
More
devil,
Satan.
yeah, demons.
More
so
Satan.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, we are in a cult
Oh, yes.
But
that's
the-
ran by Shelley.
But the biggest controversy about this
Deuce.
movie was the use of AI to do some of the generative.
I knew nothing of.
Imagery of when it like cuts to like I think a commercial or like the thing where it says like we'll be back in a minute. That's all AI. And people were like, well, were losing their shit about it because they're like, well, you're taking away jobs from artists and this and that and all blah blah blah. So much so that this movie came out last year, like almost a full year ago.
Yeah, it was.
And
I
commented on a guy that was trashing the movie because they didn't like the AI and all that, and I commented on it, and I still get. People are still commenting. Yeah, still over here, people are still trashing that guy for his comment. And I'm like,
jeez,
like I did. I was like, it's there is an enhancement.
Yeah,
they're not taking away jobs. It's they didn't make the whole movie. It's just you shoot these movies so fast with no money half the time. Like this,
you need
get,
it.
You get 30 days.
Yeah.
Either you use it and it's in the movie, or you don't use it and you have to. Not you won't have the movie at all.
So it saved the art or effects department half day.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, it didn't take any jobs. It was just a stupid little aspect that wasn't vital to anything. No. They had bigger things to work on. It's the
same thing. Like, I'm in marketing, right? You use tools to help you enhance your message. And it's the same thing when you have practical effects versus non. Like, you just use the tools to help you get going. Like, I don't understand why people...
You know, if it did save money, then they can spend that money in elsewhere to hire people to do other things and then put it on the screen and make a better movie. Yeah. You know, but it's not replacing anybody.
No. Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Dun, dun, dun. This whole podcast is AI.
We're fake. It's chat PTG, guys.
Derek, are you AI?
Can you feel me? Can you feel my lumps?
Stop
Here,
touching
let me
Derek.
taste you first.
Do you have my chopping ball shirt?
I do. I saw that when you walked in.
Awesome. I love shopping mall.
I think it's going to end up in the bag through somebody. If it's not Shelly, it's going to be somebody because she was talking about putting it in the bag next year. All right, Roger, what's your silver?
Silver's
2.
respectable. Second place.
Yes.
It's not.
Thank you for clarification.
That's
Lisa.
2. What's that? Number 2?
Yes.
Number 2. My number 2 is Oddity.
Ooh,
yes.
Oddity.
Shudder.
Also on my list.
We talked about it earlier. Shudder exclusive. Good movie. I really, really want to get a wooden man for our table.
Ooh.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
We need a bigger house.
We do.
Yeah. People call this the museum.
He's just gonna sit at the table.
That's what.
With his mouth open.
Yeah.
I told him that. I was like, we need to get one of those, sit him right there. So, and then when we have guests, move him around.
Yeah.
But it's a good one.
Did you just find it looking on Shudder? Did someone recommend it to you?
Oh yeah. The other movie podcast I listened to, the movie Crypt with Joe and Adam.
Yeah, shout it out.
They talked about it and they recommended it to me to make sure I watch it.
Yeah,
and it was one of their favorite movies of the year. So I brought it to Lisa's attention and I was like, we saw the preview. Do you want to watch it? Like, yeah, sure, and watch it. She loved it. So that was a good one.
Nice.
And the cliff notes before I get into too much of it, but like Roger's movie tastes sometimes are hit or miss. Sometimes I love them. Sometimes I'm like,
I like to watch it all.
I like it all too.
So for me to like it, it was
Everything.
shocking.
Yeah. Nice.
I like foreign horror movies.
So is this the horror film this year that you guys see most eye to eye with?
Like in 2023,
I think so.
2023, we really liked Talk to Me from Australia.
Yes.
Oh, really? I was not impressed.
That came out from Australia.
It was mid for me. I went with Shelly to the theaters.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like
it was mid. It was fine. I wasn't blown away. My number one from last year was Barbarian.
Barbarian's a good one.
I would place that in my 5.
It's in your 5?
Yeah.
Do you have something for just?
But no, Talk to Me. I thought was great. I went in with no expectations. I came out. I was like, damn, Aussies know how to do it.
Yeah, it was different with the the mechanics of everything. But I was just it didn't blow me away.
Was it Australia or New Zealand? Maybe it was. I think it was Australia.
It was Australia. But yeah, that's I would think Oddity this year would be, or excuse me,
it was our
2024 would be the one we were.
It was my top foreign horror import of the year.
Nice choice, Roger. Lisa,
Thank
what do you have for 2 silver?
So my silver is, and Roger and I talked about this morning. I'll justify it in a minute. It's called Strange Darling. So why we debated is because it was limited releases to a film festival in 23 and then theatrical in 24. So
and that's what counts.
Okay.
When was it theatrically released? It's when
perfect. So
when the
then
public can see it is when the movie counts.
Well, Late Night of the Devil is the same thing. It
Yeah.
premiered
It
at
was
film festival
exactly.
in 23, but didn't premiere until 24.
Yeah, I think it came out in February
Yes.
of 24. So,
but oh man, this movie. So Roger and I were looking for movies to watch. He found a list and this was on there. So I was like, all right, let's try it. Again, no expectations. And I was blown away. I mean, I picked up pretty easily how they sequenced the movie. I knew why they were doing that, but it was so thought out and purposefully done to not give it all to the viewer right away. I thought the actors did a phenomenal job.
Kyle Gallner.
He did such...
From the original Smile, he was in it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Smile too.
He's in. That's right. He's in Smile too. Yeah.
They did a great job. The pacing was great. I felt like, I mean, I think it's like a 90 or 2 hour movie. It just went like that.
92 hours?
90 to 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
My gosh. Roger does not
92
listen.
hour
I didn't see a dash or comma, so I just thought it was...
How can you see? You have to listen with your ears.
I mean, that's my problem. I'm just watching and not listening.
You're supposed to give Roger your notes so he knows exactly what's going on.
My bad.
My bad.
But the pacing was great. I felt like it just flew by. I was entertained the entire time. Like,
You're welcome.
it was very eerie, very compelling. And it does, afterwards, it lingers in your mind. You're like,
I like those.
So that's my Silver Strange
Yeah.
Darling. Highly recommend.
It was very strange, and it's a darling to my heart.
Aw.
So no, it was pretty good. I liked it a lot too. It didn't make my top 5, but because I forgot about it until like right before you walked in. So then we argued about it coming out in 2023, and I was like, no, but theatrical is 2024, and I think that's what Derek.
Yes,
that's what Derek cares about, because
that's the criteria.
Because stuff premieres at film festivals months and a year, up to a year before it comes out.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
So it shouldn't count.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. Highly recommended. Shout out to Lisa's brother for getting us our gift card to Fandango, because then I just use that Fandango at home, so we can just rent movies from here instead of, you can use it or go to the movies or at home. So we just did it and rented it.
Thanks, Danny.
But it might be
yeah, Danny, thanks.
Might be a purchase if Lisa liked it a lot and might add it to the collection.
I was gonna say, are you looking for the physical media?
Of course.
I would say yes, and I usually have no say in the physical media whatsoever. Here and there. Yeah.
All right, so my turn.
Yes. What's your
with
silver?
my silver number 2
Number 2
is Long Legs.
Yes.
Mommy!
Daddy! So,
Hail Satan.
So, again, I saw this with my homies Brian and Kyra in the theater. This was neck and neck with my number 1, and I just had to make a decision. I spoke about with Late Night with the Devil being close too, but this edged it out a little bit, and it is very close to number 1. But I thought the cinematography in this was beautiful as well. Osgood Perkins, who we spoke about a little bit earlier, he directed and wrote this. And he would switch from the aspect ratio of 4:3 to like the full cinema. And I loved the 4:3 shots because they're kind of like flashbacks and a little exposition on like what was going on. And I just really enjoyed that. The score and soundtrack for this were flawless. A lot of T-Rex in there. And then the story, how it all came together towards the end, it was like somewhat confusing, like Spiderweb, but how it all coalesced together in the end was interesting to me. And it was one, like you said, I forget what movie, but afterwards it had me thinking, and it stuck with me. So I love that. And we talked about when Roger was talking about it earlier on his list, but it reminded me a lot of Seven and Silence of the Lambs, but it had this like supernatural element that those movies didn't had, and it drew me in and added to the insanity of this like demonic possession movie. And it has a few pretty memorable, shocking moments that had my jaw dropping in the theater. And I will say I usually stay away from any of the checking out trailers or like reading anything about the movies, but I know that Neon did a couple marketing things with this movie. I think if you called a number, you could get a message from hear a message from Long Legs. And then there was like a cipher put out in the Seattle Times. And if you like broke it, if you figured it out, it like gave you a website that had like info on all the different murders. So anytime like a production company or a distribution company puts like a lot effort into the marketing and like makes things fun and interactive, like I love that.
It's like Smile with the people playing it at baseball games, smiling in the background.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the viral marketing.
And that's and that's what I love so much about the original Smile was the fact that they did that stuff.
Blair Witch was put the website up, made it feel like it was real for,
that's true. Yeah,
to hype it up.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Micah Monroe as Agent Harker she was a beast. Her performance was very subtle and low energy, but I've been a fan of hers since It Follows, and this is just another amazing performance by her. So I love that. And then I can't finish talking about this movie until I talk about Nicolas motherfucking Cage.
Happy birthday.
It appears you have your long legs on. So his performance and character were perfect level of batshit crazy for this film. And we got a few classic Cage moments with the singing in the car and some other stuff. But I thought it wasn't too much and only served the whole weird vibe of this movie. And not that there ever is, but 0 notes to Mr. Cage on his performance. It was amazing. And yeah, it's long legs. I love this film, and that's what I got to say. What's up, Lisa?
No, I agree. I thought it was a decent movie. I would have put it on here, but I didn't because I thought other movies. But
Yeah.
there was at one point I was watching it in the theaters, and I'm like, when Nicolas Cage came on, and I'm like, how much of this is actually acting, or is he just acting normal?
Yeah,
Because he's out there.
Well, that's always the thing with him in movies. It's like how much of this is like him being
Exactly,
a character,
yeah.
or him just like letting himself go.
He likes to do
The lines are blurred.
when he's acting, when he tells the directors he does what they want, but every time he goes into a movie he tells I want one for me.
Oh, okay.
And
I think I've heard that actually. Yeah.
And they and he just does what he wants, and sometimes a lot of times it's used because it's really good. But he's just a good actor. Little weird, but a good guy. A little eccentric. He's eccentric in real life.
Yeah,
I will say I didn't like the prosthetics they used on him.
Okay.
I just didn't like his look. Yeah, I was just like
too long. Yeah.
a little too much Botox.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
We also-
Very, but like I spoke about in Oddity, he was very unsettling. Just like his face,
Yeah.
like the work they did, he was like, ugh,
I just remember.
very puffy. Ugh, just looked like he was made of marshmallows in the face.
Yes.
Like, ugh.
We also had the mom at Spooky Empire.
Yes,
Yes.
we
Shout out
did.
Spooky
Alice
Empire. This past
Witt?
Spooky Empire.
Alice, Alicia,
Alicia.
whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm messing up her name. I feel bad.
Is she gonna listen?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah. You don't know. She
All
could
right.
be she could be your like billion Iowa listeners.
City Bluff, Iowa.
Yes. They love Carrie. Carrie is superstar there.
They love T-Rex movies. Let me tell you. Holy shit.
She's also in a lot of horror movies too. She was in Urban Legend.
Yeah, she was in Urban Legend. She was also the little girl in the original Dune.
Was she? I know she was.
Yes. I looked her up the other day, and I was like, what has she been in? And I saw that, and I was like, oh, science fiction fans probably are,
Yeah.
they're down with that. Cool. All right, are we ready
For number one.
to gold?
Oh
Sick.
no!
Sick times,
Sick.
Roger.
This is sick.
This is rad. Are you ready to rage and give us your number one?
Number one.
Call
for me-
Uno.
Call Uno.
Uno.
All right, Roger, what's your number one?
Number one for me this year is The Heretic, starring
Oh,
Hugh
wow.
Grant.
There we are. Okay, so
Taking
Heretic.
the crown.
Did you went to the theaters? I
Yes,
imagine.
saw in
Okay.
theaters. Good old A24, which I love. I really like this movie a lot.
Yeah.
because it takes religion and it just kind of shits all over it, and that's what I enjoy. But he's using truth, and it's fine what you believe, and I don't care. Just don't spew it on me. But religion, it's very judgy. It's very
It can be.
out there, but they kind of just take it all, every type, and kind of tie it all together. But by the end of the movie, you're kind of questioning it.
It takes you on a ride.
Yeah,
It does.
It gives you a different perspective on how to view it.
It's a little open ended at the end too, with the ending, and Lisa and I got an argument in the car on the way home.
Yeah, we
about
did.
It.
We did.
It does pose questions, though.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
It's like for you, in turn, like whatever you believe, you start questioning, like, ooh, one true religion.
And,
Like, ooh.
and that's the movies I really, really enjoy. That really
Creates
take off for
conversation.
me, because I can watch a movie and you get from point A to point B, and it's over, and you don't think about it again. But I like the movies that make you think again about them after you watch them, like The Substance, Oddity to an extent, in Heretic, and even Long Legs, etc. But Hugh Grant was phenomenal in it.
Oh, my God.
And it's well written. You never bored. It's not a lot of action. There's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
It just grips you, and from start to finish. Good acting. I wasn't expecting where it was going when it went. Expecting something totally different from what we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I thought it was excellent. And I hope Mr. Hugh gets a nomination for his performance, but he won't because it's a horror movie. And
Yeah,
Oscars
I mean,
stand for
horror movies
That's
don't
why-
really
That's why
It's sad.
we talked about it, but with the Substance, I was so
with the
excited.
Golden Globe. Yeah,
with the Golden
She won
Globes.
for best comedy / musical, which
I know,
I still don't
because
understand
I'm like, yeah.
why,
Because
why it's in that
They don't know
category.
where else to put us.
Yeah.
They put
Yeah.
us musical and comedy. So, is that it?
For Heretic, yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That's going to go in the old collection once it comes out, if it's out already. I haven't looked, but yeah.
A24, they always have a cool.
they have their own
release.
website. Yeah, and
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. So it's.
Oh, and you can
did you
get
see the
good-
stuff they did with Midsummer?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was
So
so
much.
good.
Sherry was
Oh, that's
showing
right.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I would suggest going to their website because you can find really cool crap that they release from the movies. Like you can get hot dog fingers from Everything All at Once, which was my
Yep.
top movie of the year when that
That's
was
awesome.
released. I love that movie
Yeah.
so much, and I love A24. God, I love A24.
Oh gosh. I will say this coming off of Rogers. We did not argue over religious beliefs. Roger and I are extremely aligned in that. We argued over what happened with a certain character. And I'm not going to say anything else. That's
Let me
a
know
spoiler.
afterwards.
I will.
Let's talk.
The other thing I wanted to point out too, I did enjoy that movie, but it was, again, I saw the trailer. I thought it was something else, how the trailer was presented. And then I was like, well, shit, that's not what I thought was going to happen. This
Yeah.
took a turn.
Oh, yeah.
But that's good though, because you don't want a trailer that gives everything away.
Yeah.
And sometimes movies do that, and you walk in, you're like, I already know what happens.
worst.
They give the best, like
It's that fine
the best
line.
scare, the best comedy,
Yeah.
the best joke, and they give it away. I'm like,
That's what I was bashing the trailer for Triangle because it gave away the coolest death scene,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, why does I don't know who gets the final say on the trailer cuts.
don't give it away though, because Lisa hasn't seen it yet. And
Okay.
I want her to
I
watch
didn't
it
watch
going
it.
in,
So-
knowing nothing.
I wish whoever makes those decisions would just like pull back a little bit, like leave the good stuff for the movie because, I mean, I understand you want to generate feet to the theater, but leave some stuff out. Give us the vibe. Give us that stuff. Like I watched the trailer for Long Legs and I thought that was perfect. It barely
Yeah.
gave us anything. It was just
Agreed.
creepy shots. Give us that. Like that's it. We don't need anything else. So yeah, I hear you.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Well,
Lisa's turn.
no.
No.
So my number one, my gold for 2024 was Oddity.
Oh, snap. I love it.
I just
Such a good movie,
I
right?
loved it. You guys hit on the points pretty well talking about it already. I loved the darkness, the eeriness. The plot was fantastic. The jump scares, what I loved about them is you didn't expect it. It was natural. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
forced. I mean, he jumped, but I screamed. There's
yeah.
one that I was
We
like,
both
"Ah!"
got
like I literally was, and it was just so innocent and natural of a jump scare. I want a wooden man in my house. I really
Yeah.
do.
I got some wood.
Oh gosh.
good lord.
Can
What?
we
Oh.
not can we go like 10,
10?
15 minutes without talking about you junk?
You gotta put at least one dick reference every
No,
was it,
you
2
don't.
minutes in a podcast to keep
Anyways, so I
Keep the
just
listeners.
what kind of
Yeah.
not this type of podcast.
to me I thought Oddity was just pitch perfect for 2024. The ending to me I also thought was a lot of people are like it's open ended. I'm like, no.
Mm-mm.
If you paid attention through the movie,
Yes.
it's justifiable.
Yeah.
I loved the lead actress. I thought she
Yes.
did a
Oh
phenomenal
my
job
gosh.
as
Yeah.
yeah.
She played both, right?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she was great.
But I mean, she was great in both roles. But when she was the sister, the psychic sister, I was just like, oh my gosh.
By the way,
Yes.
she looks beautiful as a blonde.
She
With, like,
does.
the pixie haircut.
Yes.
She was beautiful.
Stunningly gorgeous.
You're a married man, Derek.
I am.
I'm a
But I
married
can-
woman,
Carrie,
and I
I'm
thought
so
she
sorry.
was
But
gorgeous.
But I can appreciate the beauty of a woman.
Exactly.
I appreciate the beauty
I'm
of a
not.
man.
I'm not allowed to.
You sexy
I'm not
beast.
allowed. I'm not allowed to say anything
You
good about
sexy
a woman.
beast.
Lisa gets upset.
See how he's cutting off again and trued again when I'm trying to tell
But
you.
please go on. Darcy, right?
I forgot her last name.
No, that was her name in the movie. I think was the
Yeah.
the blind one.
But I will say this: the other lady in the movie, I wanted to freaking just tear her apart. That selfish C word.
Ah,
If
the-
Ian wasn't here, I would say it.
Cindy?
But
the one,
Her
the
name
one,
was Cindy, right?
I don't
the
know
one
what her
that-
name was.
the one that was living
That's
at
the
the
word.
house.
Yes.
when Darcy got there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hated
Okay.
her.
Okay.
But overall, I highly recommend it. Again, if you're gonna watch this, lights off, volume up.
oh yeah, yes.
Pump it up.
Immerse yourself in this movie. Agreed.
But that's what I have.
Nice.
That was my number one.
Is that the only movie we all had on our list? Because it was you had Oddity, didn't you?
He did.
On all three.
All three of our
Yes.
lists.
Yeah, I believe so. Because
that was the
Nature-
commonality.
yeah, Longlegs made 2.
Yes.
Violent Nature made 2. Substance made 1. I already made all 3, and Heretic was just.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know your number 1 yet, Derek. So
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Drum roll.
Derek, anticipation is making me nervous. Please just tell me.
So,
What's your gold?
Smile 2.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Yes. I went into this film because we covered the original Smile back in 2023, and I love that, and I still cite the original as the most scary recent horror film that I've seen. So I was apprehensive going to this, and when I saw that Parker Finn, who's the writer and director, I saw that he was making a sequel, so I was just nervous about it because I felt like he was going to duplicate the things that he did in the first one, and he proved me wrong. This film was just as, if not more, scary than the first one. And going into this, I also poo-pooed on the random pop star being the one who was infected. But again, I was fucking wrong. My judgment was way off on that. So Naomi Scott played Sky Riley, the pop star in it. And for my opinion, she gave the performance of the year. I know Demi Moore won for The Substance, all that stuff. And I just think Naomi Scott ran laps around Demi. I felt every heartbeat, every high, every low with her. She could not have done more in her work in this film. And she just blew my expectations out of the water on this character because I went in already shitting on it. And then quickly in the movie, I fell in love. Like I just wanted to follow her everywhere. So perfect character, perfect performance. What else?
Fun fact, not to poo-poo on your parade,
No,
but
please do.
that chick who played the pop star,
Yeah.
she played Jasmine in the live-action Aladdin.
That makes total sense because I am an original Aladdin stan. That's my
That's
Disney
your
movie.
Disney movie? Huh.
That is my
I did not
Disney
know
movie.
that.
Yes, yeah. So now I got to check out
Live action
the
Aladdin.
Live action.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Why are you smiling? Oh, I finally caught on. It's like Roger just smiling at me.
Sitting
What's
here
going on?
smiling at Derek the entire time he's talking about Smile 2, and he finally caught on.
But I like how the story continued on from the original, and I really enjoyed how it ended and how that may look for the
Yeah.
future. And so I'll speak on a specific part without giving too many details, but there was a phone call that happened in this film, and it flipped the whole movie on its head for me. And I absolutely loved that moment, and it had me going back through scenes and be like, well, what was really happening here? So Parker Finn, I said it after the Smile episode that I was a fan of his, and he could sign me up for anything that he puts out. And now my support is unwavering, and I'm in. And I was, like I said, I was apprehensive about this being a sequel, and I was blown away by it. It was better than the first. And
Yeah, I agree.
It was such a creative film when it came out, the original one. I didn't know how he was going to continue to be creative in this world and give us different moments and different types of scares. And he found ways to do it, and I was just absolutely blown away. I love Smile 2. It's my number one. So that's that.
I'll save commentary.
Save commentary.
Because we still have honorable, dishonorable.
We have honorable, dishonorable. Yeah, we still have tons to go through.
Yeah.
So.
Smile 2 almost cracked my top 5, Derek.
It
was
did too
was
for
very
me.
yes.
close.
Almost,
Very
yeah.
close.
Yes. Even when I first watched it, I was like, oh, that was pretty good. But as it sat with me, I was like, oh, man, like, that was amazing. And then I went back and watched a couple parts, and I was like, this movie fucking rules.
Lisa
like,
liked it
it's
so much,
amazing.
she didn't fall asleep during this one,
Yeah.
like the first one.
Nice. So that was our number ones. Congratulations to the movies that made our top 5. Hey!
Yay, horror!
So,
Yay.
with us just making the list a top 5, we also wanted to talk about any other movies we saw this year that we would give an honorable mention to. So, Roger, take it away. What are your honorable mentions? You can go ahead and list through them and say whatever you want.
Smile 2's on there because I thought it was
Okay,
very
cool.
well done. One of the better rare movies, or the sequel is better than the first.
Yeah.
It's the
I totally
Godfather
agree.
2 of horror, maybe.
What's that?
Or the T2,
Or the
Terminator
T2.
2.
God.
Okay. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would agree.
Or Scream
Are you
2.
okay?
I thought Scream 2 was better than the original.
What?
I thought
Ooh,
Scream 2
you
was better than
did.
the
That's a hot
original.
take, Lisa.
That is a very
that
hot
is
take.
a hot take. Wow. Other honorable mentions. The First Omen.
Okay.
Now I went into that with zero expectations. I thought it was just in the theaters. We were just want to get out and go see it, see a movie. And I was like, let's go see it. The reviews look good. I knew a couple people saw this. Actually, it was pretty good, and it surprised me how it's one of those movies that didn't need a prequel.
Yeah.
Like the original Omen series, and I thought it was just it's gonna be okay or bad. And I was surprised how good it was.
Okay.
And I even put it there as the second best Omen movie outside the first.
Oh, okay.
Very well done. And they tie it to the first movie in this mythology very well by the end. I don't want to give anything away or review, but it's but I can go on and on about it. But other ones on here, Nosferatu.
Derek.
It's me. Nosferatu has come
You
to your podcast.
shut up. You must bounce on
my
it.
love. I've been
Roger.
searching for you for centuries.
You didn't get that excited.
But that's basically Nosferatu.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
That's a recent one. You guys went to the theaters? I
yeah,
imagine.
saw it in theaters. Saw it the day after Christmas. It's slow paced.
Yep.
But it's atmospheric. That's the whole point of the movie. It's all atmosphere, and the score is amazing. It's really good.
Spooky string instruments.
But it's the plot of Nosferatu. The original came out in 1922, silent film.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be, they wanted to do Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, adapt it, but they couldn't get the full rights. So they basically did it anyways, but changed the names of the characters around and the plot slightly. But a lot of our current vampire mythology is based on Nosferatu and Dracula, the original Dracula, Bram Stoker's combined.
Oh, there you go.
Like Nosferatu, sunlight kills him, but he doesn't. That happened in Bram Stoker Dracula. He can walk in sunlight, stuff like that. So
Cool.
basically, what we know now is those two things combined is what we know pretty much now about vampires. But Edgar Wright, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
He directed The Witch, which Lisa hasn't seen yet, and I want her to watch it.
It's on the wheel. We couldn't land on it after we do Dead Snow.
The Lighthouse with my boy Robert Pattinson.
That's your boy?
No,
It's a random boy to have.
no, he's really good actor.
He is good. He is great.
If people
William Dafoe.
if people just forget he did Twilight, and
Did anyone forget?
and because he's awesome in the Batman.
The Batman.
And Christian Nolan's other movie, The Tenant, which is awesome.
Okay.
But he did Lighthouse, and he did The Northman, and this is his fourth movie, Nosferatu adaptation.
Yeah. Northman's great.
But I like Edgar Wright. I like his style and his the way he shoots and the way he does his movies. So I liked it a lot. Lisa was.
Hold
We'll
on.
save Lisa's for
Yeah.
dishonorable?
No, I'll say it now.
Okay.
It's not on honorable or dishonorable. It was
Okay.
average for me.
Yeah.
I was in a pop culture Gothic arts class in college back in the day. We had to watch the original and read the book. I mean,
That's cool.
but the story is the story over and over.
Yeah.
I was bored, and I think I fell asleep at one point. I was
Okay.
just bored with it.
It can
Everybody,
be visually soothing.
it can be, but everybody's romanticizing Nosferatu. No, he essentially raped the chick in the beginning. They don't show it. You have to kind of read between the lines with the literature.
Okay.
That was her burden to live with. Don't romanticize him. And then, did we all catch the coffin scene at the end with the friend and the wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
That was.
I was like, what?
I know. I was like,
Hey, it was so warm.
That's nasty. But I just
Zero consent.
I think I gave
The
it
dead,
like
the dead can't
They're
consent.
married, Derek. It's okay.
I think I gave it like a 2.5 or 2.
Okay.
I couldn't remember, but
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush to see it again.
But
gotcha.
Lily Depp kills it in the movie.
She
was
did do a good job.
phenomenal. I think she's gonna a rising star in the scene. She keeps the momentum going.
Yeah.
But she can act. She's
Oh, yeah.
really good in it.
And I will say, so it's one of my honorable mentions. You've said everything I was going to say, but I will say the only thing I can add to the conversation is that Lily Depp was great, but like all of their performances were weird. It was very performative, like you're at like a theater and they're putting on a play. Like it felt like
Yeah,
and it
okay.
was very it was very interesting. And at first, it was kind of weird to me, but then I got into it because it was like this movie. It was just slightly slanted, like nothing was right. It was just slightly off a little bit. So I enjoyed that in the movie. All their performances were like pushing it out instead of like creating this chemistry between one another. It felt like everyone was just pushing out this feeling and this vibe at the audience, and I thought it was very interesting. And I'm curious if that was Eggers, if that was a decision, or if it's just something that internally like I felt, and it's just me. But it felt like everyone was just like playing to the back of the room. Like you've heard that say about like people that work in the theater, you play to the back of the room.
Yeah.
So it felt like all the performances were like playing to the back of the room.
It's kind of like Nosferatu's shadow. Creeping across
the
city covering and turning it all everything into darkness.
Yeah.
But I reviewed it as it's goth girls will masturbate to this movie for the next 20 years.
Yes.
So if you work at Hot Topic and stuff,
yeah.
you'll love it. But
There's gonna be a lot of merch.
I saw
Very
before I saw a funny TikTok where it was like the caption said, "When I have my period and Nosferatu is my roommate," and you do the shadow nails, but he has a tampon dangling, going to hand it to you. Funniest thing. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Another fun one this year was Abigail.
Abigail, yeah,
was a fun one.
Yeah.
Made by the directors who did what's that movie with the board game?
Death Game.
No.
Oh my God, the hide and seek one.
No.
The
Is that where
hide and
Ready or
seek,
Not?
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, yes.
Thank
They
God.
directed Ready or Not. So it's similar with like the gore, similar with what they were doing and how it's shot. But it's good. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a popcorn movie. You just go in, just have fun with it. You know, it's entertaining all the way to the end. I thought it was very well done. Strange Darlings on there. We talked about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
I liked a lot. I thought there's some cool stuff they did with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can fit it.
The little face huggers in the water swimming around. I was like, get out.
I like how they incorporated
Get out of there.
the first movie and other aspects of Alien into it. So it fits right in.
I heard that did not go over well, and that for the DVD release for the 4K for the 4K release, they're talking about minimizing that part of it.
That's
if we're talking about the same thing, we're doing good about no spoilers.
Yes.
So much that our conversations are weird.
But Romulus is, if you're a hardcore Alien fan, you'll probably hate it. If you like Alien, you'll love it. Type of thing. You can pick it apart. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's fun, and they did a really good job. They've made so many Alien vs Predator movies are not good in my opinion. I love Alien 3. Yeah. I do not like Alien Resurrection. I think that's terrible.
Yeah.
The basketball scene doesn't do it for you.
Jesus, my God! It's any movie that has like force, like backwards basketball. You hit a shot backwards, or it's just like slow mo, like skateboarding, or just some type of skill out of the blue, just showing off to show how good the character. I'm like, I hate that crap.
That's interesting. Okay.
But I like Romulus. I like what they did. Maxine, of course, almost made the top 5. I actually like, out of all my, like, Pearl is, if I rank Pearl, X, and Maxine, it would go Pearl, Maxine, X in that order from first to third. I'm not saying X is a bad movie. It's just how I like them.
Yeah.
I like Pearl a lot. Maxine was close.
Yeah.
And Late Night with the Devil.
Sick.
Which I didn't have on here until you said it was top for you. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. And that's my honorable mentions for the year.
Nice.
Oh, in Arcadian. I'm gonna throw that on the chat. I didn't write it. It's like a monsters come at night movie. World ended. Monsters come at night. If they catch you outside, they kill you.
Cool.
And he's trapped in the house with his kids. And that's essentially the movie. It's pretty well done. The kid from It's in there, Nick Cage and stuff. It's on Shudder. I think it was a Shudder exclusive. It wasn't like a theatrical. It wasn't a theatrical movie. I think it was just shot and just right to Shudder.
All right, nice.
But I recommend that one. It's a fun one. It's nothing crazy going on. Just a good movie. And that's it.
All right, nice honorable mentions. Lisa, you're up. What other films did you like this year?
So honorable mentions, Smile 2.
Oh, yay.
I enjoyed it more than the first one. I was on the edge of my seats. I didn't fall asleep. The first one I fell asleep.
You
guys.
fell asleep?
in the theaters
Oh,
on the
wow.
first Smile. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I appreciated how this one started, a continuation. I was
Yep.
like, okay, that's great. And can we talk about the dancers and that sequence? That was amazing.
That was amazing.
I was like, damn.
There's strength in numbers. We'll say that.
So
Oh.
that was my first. Second honorable mention. You're a Monster.
Okay, Roger was talking about you guys watching this. This is Melissa Barrera, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
From Scream.
Like a love werewolf movie.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was a cute little rom com.
No,
But-
no werewolf.
Yeah, it's no werewolf.
Okay.
It's a monster.
Monster.
Think like Drop Dead Fred
Yeah.
type, but instead of
disheveled.
instead of Fred, it's a monster.
Yeah. The ending makes you. It's open ended, and you're like, wait a minute. What did I just
Looking
watch
for
the
more of
past 2 hours? Wait, hold on. And it makes you go back and question is what's real, what's not. So I appreciated that. First Omen, I agree with Roger
Okay.
on that. I thought it was a very good, well put together prequel. I had no expectations walking in there, and
Yeah.
I came out and I was like, oh, and they connected it to the
To either-
Omen.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I appreciate that. And they did
Yes.
it well. It wasn't crap. Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Did you guys so you both had Omen as an honorable mentions. Did you guys have you seen Immaculate this year?
Answer no.
No.
Okay. So Immaculate is essentially the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the mistake of watching The Omen and Immaculate like 2 weeks apart. And now whenever I think of one, I'm like, wait, is that the other one? So go ahead.
The Omen used Immaculate set.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they were pissed off because they used it and got released first. So
Oh,
now it
okay.
looks like the other way around, where
Yeah.
Immaculate
Yeah.
stole from them, but actually it was the other way around.
But I will say for both movies, The Omen, I forget the woman's name who plays the main protagonist,
We'll call her Woman.
but her in The Omen and Sydney Sweeney is the main girl in Immaculate.
Mhm.
Both of their performances were outstanding
Yeah.
and really made the movies. If you're fans of those movies, they made those movies. Like Sydney Sweeney killed it in Immaculate, and it's another like religious like nun brought to
Derek,
know.
what color was her hair?
blonde.
All right, I was just checking.
Wow.
See if you were paying
So-
attention.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
No, you're
next
fine.
down, next
I
honorable.
have 2 more and then I'm done.
Cool.
A Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
I would have put that in top 5, but then the release thing. But I just thought you nailed all the points, and I
Yeah.
especially love that it's a Halloween special.
I know.
And
yeah,
I love
another movie.
Halloween. Yeah, it was great.
Great.
The lead actor, I have a little bit of a crush on him. He
Oh,
just has
really?
this like.
He's
What the
Oh.
fuck, Lisa?
he's a very
You know what?
specific looking type of
Sweeney,
man.
Yeah.
Sweeney girl from Immaculate? Yeah, she's cute.
Okay, that's fine. But it's weird though. It's like in certain instances I'm like, and then in certain instances I'm like, okay, I can
Yeah.
see it.
I saw
Yeah.
him do like a red carpet thing, and he had like red like I don't know, eyeshadow, whatever it's called. Kind of looking like the lead singer from My Chemical Romance a little bit. And I was like, that's a choice.
It's like it's the same with the guy who played in Social Media and Spider-Man. That actor, what's his name? Oh my gosh.
Oh, Garfield.
yeah,
something.
Andrew Garfield.
Thank you.
Certain angles I'm like, oh no.
Very true.
And then other angles I'm like, okay.
Did you see when he put his glasses on? At
Yeah, it
the
was a
awards
TikTok
ceremony?
trend. Everybody was
I
going
like,
nuts.
Oh, thirst trapping the ladies over here, Andrew Garfield.
And then lastly, The Substance.
Ah, there we
Yes.
are.
But,
Yes.
but hold on.
Okay,
hold
okay,
on.
okay.
So
Take it away.
I think when we initially watched it, I did rate it a 2.5.
Yes.
So first off, Demi Moore, you go, girl, because
Yes.
I want to be your age and look like that with
For real.
with clothes on and off.
For real.
Like that took a lot of freaking guts for her to do that.
Yeah.
And she looks
Agree.
phenomenal. Even the first scene in the leotard when she's dancing, I did a double take. I thought it was CGI. I was like, holy shit, she's
Good for you.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
For a 63-year-old
Did
woman?
you
Yeah.
did you listen to her acceptance speech?
Yes.
Like for the things that like how Hollywood has been talking to her, it's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like for how she looks in this movie, it's like
Gorgeous.
How are you using this verbiage?
I could
against
have
her?
I could
Insane.
have given 2 shits less about the younger version. I was all about I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
Yeah.
And then the fact she stepped out of her comfort zone with that and then also wore a lot of prosthetics later on in the movie, I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah. She looked crazy later on.
I enjoyed the story. I knew what they were getting at. Here's my heartburn. I have 3 heartburns. One, I was left with questions unanswered, and I hate that with the movie.
Yeah.
I absolutely can't stand it. 2, I felt like it was like 30 minutes too long.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh my, there was one point I'm like, is this going to end? And then 3, and it goes back to writing naturally. If you write well, let it tell you. I don't need 30 minutes of pussy popping in my face to get the point across.
Agree.
I don't need it. It's the same thing. Like everybody's like, how can you, Roger, stop it.
Roger's gyrating on the chair.
It's stuff like that. Like it's the same thing with Captain Marvel or the scene with the chicks in Avengers Endgame when they're like, we're going to help him.
Yeah.
It's forced. Stop forcing it and let it be natural. And that's my last honorable.
That's your last honorable.
The
Nice.
pussy popping was needed.
No,
Not that much.
Not that much.
It's warranted for it, but I don't need to watch it for a minute, 40 seconds. Just like give me like a couple seconds. Like, all right, I get it. I'm at a dance thing for TV, an exercise video. But yeah, I agree.
What's yours? What are your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions. So number 1 is In a Violent Nature. It was close to being my top 5, but Lisa Frankenstein was just too much fun for me. But like we said, love the POV nature walks, brutal kills, cinematography also killed. I can understand the hate, I guess, because because of the slowness parts of it. But I love Mother Nature, so those parts were made for me. So I was down. Next film, Nosferatu.
Boo.
Oh, damn it.
So
I heard you call my name.
Appetite. I can't, but I can't get enough, like Roger said, of how Eggers paints a picture. This one looked amazing, sounded amazing in the theater, and I went to see it with my friends Brian and Kyra again. So they're my buddies for going to the theaters.
You must bounce on it.
Derek,
Crazy style.
Derek, did you like my penis when you saw it?
TikTok ruins everything.
Oh my God.
But we're
Okay.
getting-
Sorry, guys. Spoilers, but you do see a penis. And at first I panicked because I was like, I hope Bill Skarsgård
Dude,
is not that.
I went into this. I didn't watch anything as I usually do. And then my buddy, he's like, you're going to see a vampire dick, right? And I was like, excuse me?
Ladies, it
He's
ain't
like-
that impressive.
It's just an Orlock thing that happens.
It fills with blood.
How does he get?
With
Hmm.
blood.
He...
Well, I
Isn't
don't
he
think
dead?
He's not really having sex
Yeah.
with her. His sex is draining.
Mouth sex on the
Yeah.
chest.
I took it as they were doing it.
You thought he was
I thought so.
penetration?
I thought he was like,
We can try that sometime. I'm just
No,
saying. Maybe it's
I'm good.
maybe.
Anyways,
a little
sorry,
blood
Derek.
play for you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Derek. Sorry.
Orlock was different, but I didn't mind the take. Just wished he didn't talk as much. I love the vocal performance. It was awesome, but I don't feel like we needed him going on. And I would have liked him to be like lurking in the shadows and being more of a mystery and not just like put on a billboard for us to follow like a lot in this movie.
Do you want to go for a mustache ride, Derek?
You need to work on rolling your R's.
I was a little disappointed with his look.
Yeah, I know some people had qualms. Did you not? Were you not a fan of the upper lip stuff?
That didn't bug me as much. I don't know. I just
You thought he was like beat up. He was mangled. A
yeah.
little bit.
I was like,
Yeah. He's not
okay.
as smooth.
I would like a little
He
smooth.
doesn't look like he has the same texture as a dolphin.
But fun fact, I saw an interview and Bill Skarsgård said that a year in advance he saw a draft of what his character would look like, but it changed a little bit.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. All right, so that is Nosferatu, and then next I had Heretic. I went to see this with Shelly in the theater. It was a good time. Very heavy on the religious tip, like Roger was talking.
All about tip.
And it oh my God. It did feel like a college course on theology a little bit, so it was a bit of a slow burn, but the performances and the twists make it worth your time. So honorable mention to Heretic. The Substance made my honorable mention. We've talked about it ad nauseum, so I'm not going to go into too much detail.
You hadn't watched it when I came over last week, right? You watched
No,
it?
I didn't. I watched it after.
Oh, for my recommendation.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, sure.
You can have that one, Roger.
I told you to watch it. I was like, I
He
told you
might-
that's all I was talking
So-
He was
about.
gonna do it anyway.
So for this podcast, I crammed in The Substance, Nosferatu, and Terrifier 3.
These-
Those were the 3 films. I was like, I got to check these off before.
Did you spit on them first?
No, I
Oh.
didn't.
Oh, that must have hurt. Before you crammed
The
it in.
jam cram, whatever.
Jam crammed it in.
Jam
I
cram.
used some jam and then I crammed it in, Roger.
Yes.
But yeah, we've talked about The Substance a ton. Maxine also made my honorables. I think for anyone who loves X and Pearl, you need to finish it off, and you get another hour and a half of Mia Goth playing Maxine Minx. So go check it out. And then
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
be a star.
that opening scene where she does the monologue and all that. We talked about it, but it rivals the final scene
Yeah.
in Pearl for me. So I was like, man, what a great performance. What are you showing me your nips for?
Did I get the part?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so just 2 quick ones. The Devil's Bath, it's like a folk horror film that's on Shudder, and it's based off real events from the 1700s in, I think, either Germany or Austria. But I would stay past the end and get like a little sad history lesson. It's worth your time. And then finally, my last film, honorable mentions, Mr. Crockett, which was a Shelley recommendation to me, and it was weird in a great way. It's about like the supernatural, like children's TV host, and he's like abducting kids, and like there's crazy like his like weird buddies inside the TV show. But yeah, those are my last
Is
2.
that one on Shudder?
Crockett is on Hulu. Mr. Crockett.
We have to look at that one.
Mr. Crockett's on Hulu, and then The Devil's Bath is on Shudder. Devil's Bath is kind of a slow burn, but it's kind of a fucked up movie, and then do stay towards the end to get some context.
Okay.
So,
Noted.
those are my honorable mentions. Let's move on into dishonorable mentions. So, Roger, take away your dishonorable mentions. What films sucked ass?
Well, that I wanna,
Or disappointed for one
yeah,
reason or
I
another.
wouldn't
Yeah.
say I hated it, but it just didn't do anything for me. It's like if I watch it and I probably won't watch it again type of thing. That's how
Yes.
that's how I view a movie that on this list is if I watch it once, I probably won't watch it again.
Yeah.
It's the first one. I saw the TV glow.
I saw that too. It was one of those films where I went in expecting one thing and I got something
Yeah.
else.
Yes.
And I was like,
Same.
I'm not mad about this, but I was wanting this, so I felt cheated.
I felt a little bored at times.
Yeah.
And it, like where I thought it was gonna be about and the way it was going, then it just didn't go there, and I was like, it's well made. It just wasn't a movie for me. And
I
I was
agree.
hoping it would go more into the TV show.
I was too.
And
we got a
that
moment
direction.
there. I was like, ooh, these creatures look really cool, and then it was,
was
no
it,
more. And I
yeah.
was like, fucking want that.
I thought by the ending we're gonna get like a surprise, like an M. Night Shyamalan type of twist, but
Yeah.
we got nothing, and
Yeah.
it just went in a direction. I was like, okay. all
My
right,
heart
nothing special.
broke for that little boy though. The boy in the
okay, yeah, I know. Heavy. Is that it?
Nope. And the next one I'm gonna put on here, it's not a bad movie. It's just again, watch it. It's one of those type movies you just watch once and you're good. It's The Watchers.
Okay, I've seen that on some people's list as far as good movies.
Yeah. And it's not a
It's
bad.
got Micah Monroe in it.
Yeah. It's a well good looking movie.
Okay.
There's money behind it, and it's made. M. Night Shyamalan's daughter wrote and directed it.
Oh, okay.
It's just average. It's just a basic movie. Nothing special. By the end of it, it's just like, okay, all right, that was all right.
Now we're
All
done
right.
with that. Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
And I think that would be it on that part.
Didn't you write notes? You're looking at them.
Oh, I know. I Trapped is one of those that I could almost put on there, but when
People
I
don't
was,
consider it that.
it's not considered.
Yeah.
When I filtered out my letterbox of just horror, it was disappeared. So it's not
Oh,
considered a horror movie.
interesting.
So that's why I didn't mention it. But again, it's one of those ones where you have to really take your reality
Yeah.
and how belief of how stuff actually works and just forget about it and
Yeah,
let the movie
a
go.
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. So if you do that, movie's good. If you nitpick it, you're gonna hate it. because you're like, oh, man, that's not real life. But it's movie. It's not supposed to be real life. That's the whole point.
Yep.
But it was all right. But that's it.
All right. Lisa, what do you have for dishonorable mentions?
So dishonorable, I have a couple. First off, VHS Beyond.
Okay.
I'd rather watch paint dry. I
Ooh.
was so bored. This was a movie recommendation from Roger, and I was like, I can't. It was so boring.
It's a new VHS. We gotta watch.
It was terrible.
I like an anthology. I'm horny for anthology,
Wow.
especially horror anthologies.
So yeah, there was the first one. This one, some people consider it horror. I don't, but I wanted to put it on here because I was disappointed. Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I firmly believe if the writer's strike didn't happen, we would have a solid story plot. But since the writer's strike happened with this, the story plot kind of got a little into the weeds.
I think my wife went to see that with you, correct?
We went on a girl date, us ladies.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen it yet. Carrie saw it. She said she was underwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There are some funny parts. Keaton killed it as always, but hashtag Rip Bob. That's all I'm going to say. Alien Romulus.
Alien Ramamas.
Look, it's decent outside of the whole Ripley stuff, but I am so over alien movies. Can we
Okay,
just move on from the franchise, guys? Unless you have Sigourney Weaver and an awesome freaking storyline, I
Bring
am
it back.
done with the alien
Yeah.
franchise. And then last, Derek's going to kill me. Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed the 80s. Everything
Yes. Yeah.
like I agree with you on, but
Okay.
we've seen this plot so many times, and I
Yeah.
felt like there were parts where I was just like, this is just subpar to me, and I'm very bored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sad you didn't enjoy it. I had such a good time watching it. But I
Well,
hear you.
James Cameron did state once that there's only 27 possible plots that you can possibly make a movie. And there's no, and he talks about it. And, it's actually,
And then we got Late Night with the Devil,
and it's really,
28.
It's really true.
Yeah.
But when there's only so much you can do. But I'm not saying
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying that when you see it before, we do see it constantly a lot. It's just, can you disguise it better than
Right, yeah.
other movies?
Yeah, that's true.
Derek, what are your dishonorables?
All right. My dishonorables are doop. First is Trap. Why did you do this, M. Night? Your focal point should have been the dark and sinister character who's masquerading as a father figure, a.k.a. Cooper. Instead, for at least half the film, we're subjected to his real-life daughter's music and performance. And by the way, Josh Hartnett fucking killed it in this movie.
He did good.
He was great. And it's good to see him back in a genre film, but it sucks that he's absolutely surrounded by a pile of shit.
Yeah.
So, was not happy with Trap.
See, I'm not. That's my problem with him. Like Shyamalan, I am not a fan.
Yeah.
I cannot with his movies. That one was decent, but I agree with all of your points.
Yeah.
You don't like the Sixth Sense?
It was,
No.
and like his daughter, like she the one scene, like it was like a very emotional scene. It's like she doesn't know how to fucking act. Why is she delivering lines and conveying emotion? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Who's his
The
daughter?
nepotism's got to go.
Who's his daughter in the movie?
The pop
Yeah.
star.
Oh,
She's
is
the
that his
pop
daughter?
star.
That's-
Yeah.
That's his daughter?
Yeah,
didn't
and
know
she's
that.
a real fucking singer and all that shit.
Ooh,
Huh.
okay.
So it's why? Why'd you do this? You
Why?
sack
You
of
s-
shit.
you s-
So next movie I watched on Shudder, and it's called Destroy All Neighbors. I was really looking forward to this because so Jonah Ray's in it. I think he's hilarious, and Alex Winter plays like a goblin guy. So I was super excited for it, and it was extremely underwhelming. It's kind of like a comedy horror a little bit, but Jonah Ray, his character was like a prog rock dude, and it just got fucking annoying with that shit. And then Alex Winter's goblin guy kept saying bro, and it just I tapped out.
Was that the equivalent of you guys saying sick?
That is sick.
No, it wasn't sick. He was just saying bro a bunch. We're sick,
Bruh.
Bro.
bro.
Bruh.
Bro.
Trust me, bro.
It's me, Nosferatu, brah.
And this last dishonorable mention comes with an asterisk, because overall I enjoyed the movie, but for the love of God, Terrifier 3, Damon Leone, find a writer and figure out the mess that is the lore of this film. I just want art being silly and mangling people, and we get the emergence of characters who never had any kind of relationship with the main girl all of a sudden, and then other characters who were just like fringe characters are all of a sudden very important. So make it stop. Get some help with writing this film, and just do the practical stuff.
That was my thought process after the first film because I am not a Terrifier fan.
The first film was straight on.
No, I just don't.
The second film was fun. Art was crazy, and we
Long.
started getting a little bit of this supernatural backstory stuff. And then with this movie, zero things were answered, and it was just
I do know of
figure it out.
one scene that
Figure it
people
out,
are
Damien.
like, "Whoa,
Spoilers.
in
I-
this
I haven't seen
in
it
this
yet.
one.
yeah." Isn't there like a cross or a hanger or something?
Maybe.
Okay, I think we know what you're talking about.
So, yeah,
I-
but that was my final dishonorable mention.
I
I love Art the Clown, and I enjoyed most of the movie, but I'm just getting annoyed with trying to figure out what is going on in the background of the stuff that I love.
Yeah,
So
I think he says he's gonna get to it. It's just they're just taking their time.
movies deep.
Yeah, they're gonna make.
you're giving me 2 movies back to back that are 2 hours plus, and you've given me the same amount of information in the third one that I had in the second one. So I'm like, get to it, dude,
It will
because
make,
it's starting to get annoying.
it will make sense eventually.
Okay.
That's what
Well,
they
Damon
said.
Leone has admitted that he is not a writer and that he is a special effects guy.
That is true.
So realize that and bring in a writer to help you out.
I'm not a huge fan of Terrifier. I find
Yeah.
the movies just overly brutal for the sake of being overly brutal, but lack the story that it needs.
Yeah.
But
And I agree. I like
the,
that.
the kills are cool, but it's just so much. It's just boom boom in your face. But that's what a lot of people like too
Mm-hmm.
about it. They're fans of the series.
All right. So that takes us through our dishonorable mentions, and let's go to Voices from Beyond, where I've reached out to some people on the social medias. So our first submission is Tim at Horrorflix and Guitar Picks. His number 5 was Long Legs. Number 4 was Terrifier 3. And then his number 3 was I Saw the TV Glow. Interesting. His number 2 was Nosferatu. And then Roger, his number 1 was The Substance.
Yes.
Honorable mention to Slay on Tubi. And yeah, so honorable mention also from Tim. So next up, we have one from Ray M, who submitted Dashcam to us, and we just recorded with him. So Ray said, looks like Maxine, his is number 5. Alien Romulus, number 4. Number 3 is Long Legs. His second movie was Watchers. And his first number 1 Uno movie was Abigail. So good list, Ray.
Sick.
Quinlan, our friend of the pod, he reached out and said he's ashamed to admit that he hasn't seen many of the horror films this past year. With that being said, he said that A Quiet Place Day 1 might be the best in the franchise. And also, as much as I am annoyed by seeing the trailer for Speak No Evil a million times in theaters, it was a very good movie anchored by incredible performance by Jay McAvoy. I could go off on a why that movie was made so quickly issue I have with it.
I liked it.
I should have put it on my dishonorable. It decent, but
Yes.
they changed the ending from the foreign, the original,
Yes.
to this, and it made me so mad. Have guts, people.
I agree. But we, as Americans, when they Americanize a movie, that's what they do. They neuter the fucking movie.
I can't stand
and that.
that.
is exactly what they did with Speak No Evil. They
Right.
took... And to like, it's not... The original Speak No Evil is not a revenge movie. It is a bleak movie. And this Speak No Evil is very much a revenge movie.
Agreed.
I wonder if they filmed both, but they did test audiences and they went with the one they went with.
The one's it's a Danish movie. The original one's a Danish movie.
Oh no,
so
no,
it's
no!
got-
I'm
But he
saying
says film both
they both
endings,
film
the
type of
original
endings,
and
Oh,
then
I
but
see
they
what
change
you're
did
saying,
they did
with
a
the test
test. They did a
audience.
test audience,
Interesting.
and Americans don't like unhappy endings or
I know, but
stuff like
those
that.
of us who the movie's mostly for are like, we want.
I wanted the
bleakness.
original,
We want
yeah.
the bleak, yeah. Which, by the way, that original, oh my god, I watched the remake first, and then I went to watch the original.
World
was
of
like-
difference.
I was like, what the fuck? At first, I was like, this is shot for the same fucking thing, and then you get to a certain point, and you're like, oh my god, they went there.
Yeah.
And then they go there again, and then you're like, what is this movie? Holy shit. No one's safe. What do we have next? My friend Kyra, who I go to the movies with, she sent me Her number 5 was Nosferatu. Number 4 was Terrifier 3. Number 3 was Romulus. And then 2 was Longlegs. She said that was a weird-ass one. And then her number 1 was Lisa Frankenstein. And she said, because somehow the one-liners from that movie became my personality this year. So there's Kyra's list. And then Bri, a.k.a. Brian, he said number 5 was Alien Romulus. 4, Apartment 7A, which I didn't know what that was. I asked, what's that? And he said it's a prequel to Rosemary's Baby.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so there's that. And then his third favorite was Lisa Frankenstein. Number 2, Longlegs. And then number 1, In a Violent Nature.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Respect.
And our last submission is my buddy Steven. And he has at number 5, Late Night with the Devil.
Sick.
4, Smile 2. 3, Low Lives. Did you guys see Low Lives? I think it was a Tubi original.
No.
It's awesome. I suggest you guys check it out.
Tubi.
Low Lives.
It's
check
free.
it out.
Tubi is
Oh my
free.
gosh. His number 2, VHS Beyond.
It wasn't that bad.
It was
It had
terrible.
some
Well, Steven
good
likes it.
segments. Thank
There we
you,
are.
Steven. You rule.
Yeah, Steven rules to the max. And his final movie was Abigail.
Nice.
Abigail
Decent.
was, yeah.
That's fun.
And I may have mixed up his order. So Late Night with the Devil could be his number 1. And I apologize, Steven, if I mixed up your order. So those were our Voices from Beyond. So let's finish it off with us talking about some upcoming films for 2025 that we are excited for. Roger, what do you got for 2005 you're pumped for?
On there is 28 years later.
Yes, I think, is that on all of our lists?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so let's,
That one
agreed.
the trailer looks pretty good. I'm excited.
Yes.
I didn't think we'd get a third one after all these years, but
I know.
we are.
I know.
years.
Cillian Murphy's in, but he's just producing, which that's kind of a bummer.
I thought he was in the movie for a minute. No.
No.
Okay.
He's just a production person.
The
on it.
movie The Monkey.
Yes, I have it on mine as well.
Ooh.
I don't.
So Osgood Perkins, who did my long legs. My long legs.
Lovely.
But yeah, he's coming back. That's exciting though, because it's a Stephen King short, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
that'll
love
be.
me some Stevie King.
Hey Roger, it's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be so sick.
All right,
Megan 2.0.
get out.
I really enjoyed the first Megan movie. It was fun. I had a good time with it. Yeah, dance it, baby.
Yeah, well, yeah. Choreography is the best part of that movie.
Derek did not like Megan.
Choreography
It
was the
was-
best part of that movie.
It's
It
fun.
was an average
It
movie,
was
but it's
fun.
done.
I liked it. I'm
It's
Okay, so that's good.
excited for the sequel.
Blumhouse is really starting to stink it up. That's all I got to say.
I agree.
But I watched the unrated version of Megan, and it's better than the first. They cut it a lot out to make it PG-13.
Oh,
Just make it R.
There's uncut R version on the Blu-ray.
So what did I watch
Blu-ray.
on Peacock?
You watched probably the original, the
Original.
PG-13.
Yeah.
Is that the theatrical?
Yeah, theatrical is the PG-13.
So there's a director's cut.
there's a
Yeah.
director's cut that will be
Okay,
rated R.
just fucking give us that. Fucking stop with the
Right?
PG-13.
It's a lot-
You're making a horror film.
They don't like the rated R version of the director's cut. They don't cut away. You see
yeah.
the gore and
Okay.
all that. So
All right.
it's better.
Do you have it on physical media?
I do.
Roger?
It's right over there.
I'm gonna go home with
And
a
I
bag
have-
of DVDs.
and I have the score on vinyl as
I
well.
bet you do.
Until Dawn.
Okay,
I'm excited for this
zombie movie.
No, this is based on the PlayStation exclusive video game
Okay.
Until Dawn, where it's one of those games where you make the choices and it branches off.
Oh, okay.
into
Like
all
build
different
your own
dir-
adventure or
yeah,
whatever.
so there's
That's
like
cool.
8 different endings.
Ooh.
And what I was reading about is that they made the movie where it branches off and into different possibilities. So I'm
yeah.
interested to see what they mean by that.
Yeah.
To make it
Almost
close
like
to the
Clue.
Kind of. Yeah. I
'Cause
want to be shocked if
Clue-
there's like a different ending in each movie.
Because when they originally
Or each
released
trailer.
Clue, if you go into, depending on what theater, it depends on your
it had a
ending.
different ending.
Yeah.
That's fun. I didn't
But,
know that.
But Until Dawn's a cool concept. It takes
That sounds
place.
good. Yeah.
It takes place like in a snowy like mountain cabins. Like
Ooh.
people went to go for a weekend to drink and party,
Getting
and
cozy.
stuff happens. I don't
Okay.
want to give it away, but it's good. I played the game. I beat the game. It's
Oh,
really
good for you. Good. Hey, congratulations. I'm beating the game.
Thank you. Saw 11.
Can we be done with Saw?
Never.
I'm with Lisa.
I think it's 11. XI is
I
11,
didn't-
right? Or is it 9?
11. The
11.
last one was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 11. Saw 11. I like what they did with the last one. I didn't care for the last like couple in the original run. Jigsaw was okay, but I like what they did the last one to fill in some gap and bring the characters back.
Yeah, I do know like people who love the series were enthralled with the last one. There's fucking 9 out of 8 other movies for me to get through to get to that, and I'm just like, I'm not.
But for a franchise that had so many, then kind of took a break. That's how you revive it.
Okay,
and to
cool.
bring back characters that were already like dead, and forgotten about. So that was good.
Awesome.
Black Phone 2.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I love the first one.
I'm interested to see where they go with this one since from the end of the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I'm assuming it's a prequel.
Yes.
I would assume it's a prequel.
Yeah. Okay.
In the final movie I have on my list, Ash.
Ash, I don't think I saw that. What's Ash?
That I didn't write anything down about.
You just wrote Ash.
Well, I read about it, but I didn't write anything about it because I didn't expect you to ask me what it was about.
Oh, sorry.
So let me look.
But you're doing such a good job with
you were
the synopsis.
Taking us on a journey.
A
Ash,
cinematic
so I'll
journey.
read you this one. On the mysterious planet of Ash, Raya awakens to find her crew slaughtered. When a man named
Spaceship.
Brian arrives to rescue her, an ordeal of psychological and physical terror ensues while Raya and Brian must decide if they can trust one another to survive.
Raya and Brian?
And it stars...
minus 1 point.
Aaron Paul from...
Is that one of the Paul brothers?
No. Aaron Paul's in Breaking Bad.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks cool.
Okay.
So so it's one of those I'm looking out for.
Good.
In 2025.
Hell yeah. Lisa, what about you? Looking forward to?
We already mentioned 28 years later. The Wolfman. I love Universal Monsters.
Lee Winnell.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I also love the lead actress in that. She was Ruth in the Ozark, and she kills. She kills it in anything. The next one, The Bride. Again, Universal Monsters.
It looks interesting.
That's my...
It's a musical too, right?
I think so. It's a different take, but I love The Bride of Frankenstein. If anybody knows me, that is my Universal Monster.
Nice.
And then lastly, Companion.
Me too.
I love both actors. They do phenomenal jobs. But this is one where I saw 2 different trailers.
Oh.
And one trailer, you're like, ooh, I wonder what this is going to be about. But the second trailer, which is longer, I'm like, you just told me everything about the movie.
Oh, fuck.
And it's not what you think it's going to be. But nonetheless, I'm intrigued and want to see it.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
It does.
That's why I stay away from that shit as much as possible.
TikTok, man. Damn
Yeah,
it.
TikTok is difficult.
It is.
It likes to spill the beans, and you don't even know you're getting the beans. The beans are in your lap. You're like, what the hell happened?
Exactly.
So, all right. So my most looking forward to of 2025, 28 years later, Roger and I discuss a little bit. So I also have the companion, Sophie Thatcher. Loved her in Heretic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I was like, oh, that's the girl from Heretic. I was like, I'm in.
And Yellow Jackets.
Yes.
Yeah, I have not watched Yellow
Oh,
Jackets.
It's good.
good.
It's good.
Okay.
And
but
season 3 comes out in February.
good. There we are.
If you not know that, Lisa.
I heard.
Next up, Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro is directing it. So I'm intrigued to see what he does with Frankenstein.
He can do no wrong.
I'm intrigued on that aspect of it, but
I
again,
purposely use that word. I'm not. I'm intrigued.
because it's done so many times.
yeah.
How many times can we recreate Frankenstein?
Yeah.
And I love Frankenstein.
I know.
Frankenstein.
My next movie is Heart Eyes. I think it looks like a Valentine's Day slasher film. Devin Sawa's back.
Yes.
So I'll probably be checking that out. Looks cool.
I was talking about that one before we started.
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Lisa,
Cool.
before you came over.
And then the final film for next year that I'm looking for is The Monkey. And Osgood's coming out with another movie. Like Parker Finn, I'm going to be checking out anything Osgood puts out. So that's it. That takes us through our episode. We did it.
We did it,
We
guys.
talked about so many movies.
5 hours later.
I'm going to go take a nap.
We're getting pizza.
Oh,
3
yeah, pizza.
hours.
So to close this out, Roger, Lisa, thank you so much for doing this with me. This was the first time for this podcast, but it's something I want to do every year because I've seen other I've heard other podcasts have a top 5, top 10 at war. And, for how our podcast is set up, it's always hard to talk about recent films. Even if, we didn't spoil anything or go into great detail this time. This was you guys assisting me in scratching a big itch on talking about recent films. So I wanted to thank you guys for agreeing to do this with me and yeah, I'm excited. My recording is at 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I have a lot of work to do.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, guys, thanks. Any parting words? Please, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Derek. You inspire me every day to be a better person, better husband.
Yes.
And I love you.
I love you too, Roger.
And if you need me to scratch anything on your body, I will.
I have a back scratcher at home, but it's at home, so
Exactly.
maybe I'll hit you up. Lisa, what's up? You're here? I didn't see you come in.
Do you need alone time, guys? As always, thank you, Derek. Appreciate being a guest on the podcast. We'll do it anytime you need us, and it's always fun.
Awesome. All right, and with that, we're going to close out the show. I'm Derek,
I'm Roger.
I'm Lisa.
and thank you for listening to Little Bracket of Horrors. Good job, Roger.
Oh, did I turn this off? I hit a button accidentally.
I can hear you.
Derek, is this okay? I accidentally hit the button on top.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
Whatever you do, don't push the red button.
Actually, I found out, I don't think that button does anything because one episode that Shelly and I did, Children of the Corn, we did the episode and then she didn't pick up at all. Like, her track was
Dead.
silenced out. So I thought it was something that maybe got pressed on that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to redo the episode, I was like, let me do a couple test runs. And I pressed the button, recorded,
Hello.
said stuff. And then I pressed it again, and I recorded the whole time. So I was like, I don't know what I did. I don't know. So
It happened.
You did
it
something.
does. What's that?
You did something.
It does something all right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Get it
I
down.
just hit the button. Oops.
Why are you stop hitting buttons?
There's buttons underneath. Especially not wearing your t-shirt.
I am wearing a T. What are you? Oh, my. So Daddy's put on too many LBs, and I can't fit in my little bracket.
I love how you called yourself Daddy. All right, I am ready when you are.
Hold on. I'm drowning in the water. I'm
This,
drinking.
this isn't
Can I-
ASMR.
Can I
What,
be your backup singer? Can
what are
say
you
that?
gonna do?
Like
You're
little
both gonna
bracket
do it.
Little bracket of horror.
It's up to Derek. This is his podcast.
Yeah, it's cool. Whatever y'all want to do, Yinzers want to do.
All right,
Take it away.
ready?
Yep.
Welcome to Little Bracket of Horrors.
bracket of horror.
That's her dog Brody. He wants to participate as well.
Yeah, we got a couple outlying co-hosts as well
Yeah, we have
in cages.
2 dogs and a kid.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sitcom for a Friday night.
It is. I'm sure CBS had that show in the 90s.
They had My Two Dads.
My
Yeah.
Two Dads, Empty Nest,
Mm-hmm.
Step by Step.
Wings.
What was it called? TGI Friday, right?
Yep. It was the
The
best
good old
night.
days.
Yeah.
Back when
Life is great.
life was great. We didn't have the internet quite yet.
Urkel.
We didn't have it. We didn't have it to the degree that we have it now. Urkel, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Family Matters, right?
Full House.
Full House.
It's all coming back.
Step by step.
He just said that.
Oh, did you say step
I
by
did.
step? Oh.
He doesn't
I was-
listen.
I wasn't
was a
paying
big
attention.
fan of Step by Step.
So was
the
I.
one daughter I had a crush on.
Carrie, don't listen to this part.
Yeah.
What else you
She
want to do
knows.
to her?
Huh?
Tell me the dirty things you want to do to her.
No,
Ian-
no, no.
Hey. Ian is like literally 10 feet away from us.
He's got a
so-
headset on. He's good.
It's
Look
true.
at him. He's not, oh, he just looked over. Maybe he can't hear us. I don't know. He just looked over when I said his name. He's like, "Hey."
So my first sexual experience.
No.
Roger.
Oh,
Not your
whoa.
top 5 sexual
That's-
experiences,
oh.
sir.
Oh, sorry, I got my notes mixed up.
So we are here today to talk about our favorite 5 horror films of 2024. I know we were just chatting it up a little bit, but it's been a while since Roger and I were out hanging out last weekend. But Lisa, what are you up to? What's going on?
Man, life. Work's been keeping me busy, but it's a good busy.
Yeah.
Just living life, hanging out.
This is going on the blooper reels at the end.
Pause. Bella Lynn. Bella.
Bella, what are you barking at?
Guys,
Does she see fresh meat?
She's like going on 14 years at the end of the year.
She's telling kids to get out of her yard.
Yeah.
Get out of my yard.
Exactly. So anyways, what I've been up to, like I said, I just...
Yes.
For Mellow Mushroom.
Yes. That's our meeting area. Like, hey,
All
Buffalo Pizza.
all people with dead dads go to Mellow Mushroom. It's just universally known.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what toppings did you get on your pizza?
I got buffalo chicken. Pizza was good.
No, that's not your
You
Well,
like buffalo
topping.
No, I do, but it's a funny story. So when him and I started dating, the first person to meet him was my oldest nephew, Tommy, and his fiance at the time. And we
Nice.
went to Mellow Mushroom. And, you know, afterwards, I'm in the car with Tommy, and I'm like, so what'd you think of him? He goes, I like him. Seems like a good guy. I think this one will be the one. And I'm like, what are you judging that off of? He goes, he got meat lovers. That's a solid choice. It's a
It
lot
is.
of meat.
And that's
Yeah.
after the waitress flirted with me.
Yeah,
for
I
me
wanted to kill
and
that
asked for my
waitress.
phone number.
Wow. Very.
And I couldn't
very
show
aggressive.
I couldn't show my crazy yet because we were like 2 months into it.
Fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Honeymoon period. That's when you show the best parts of you.
No, you trap them. You're like, sucker.
Yeah, like, and the closet's open. Look at all this terrible stuff inside this.
Pay no mind to them bones that fell out. There's no skeletons over here. Pay no mind.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad you guys got married.
Me too.
Yeah, that's cool. Not on the old taxes though.
Oh,
Doesn't
don't even get started.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We did our taxes last night. It wasn't sex. Literally our taxes.
Yeah.
And,
Is that code for
No.
SEX?
No.
Oh,
no.
all right.
I spent 2 hours doing it. It would.
So it was definitely taxes.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
It didn't come out great.
Yeah.
And
You know what I'm
Definitely
saying.
taxes.
made some learn some things when you get married. What you should do. So we're gonna do that for this year. So we're
Oh, okay.
don't have any mistakes. Like
As far as proper deductibles. and
yeah.
Yeah.
putting the right amount of money in the right amount of places.
Why do they take out less when you get married? I don't understand it. Derek?
Have a kid.
No.
Nah, I'm good. We
Oh,
have dogs. Dogs should be deductible.
You could say you got vet appointments, food.
Yeah.
Dog.
Shots. They have to
If
go.
they bite someone, you got to pay to put them down.
That's a deductible. That's worth it.
That's money. Yeah, it's an expense. Why can't you write it off? That's crazy. I agree. I'm on your guys' side.
Thanks.
Some honorable mentions, films that we liked but just didn't make the cut. And then after that, we'll have dishonorable mentions, maybe some films that were busts or like were hyped up that we were excited about and didn't quite meet expectations. And then after that, just like our normal episodes,
Roger.
I didn't realize my phone was not
fast and loose with it. This guy, fast and loose.
He's like, I'm telling you, if I can describe my husband in a dog breed, it'd be golden retriever.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what makes
Look at your eyes.
podcasting exciting. Is the unpredictability of what's going to
Yeah.
happen on around the microphone on
Yeah.
our end.
Full
And
of
I
life.
was looking at Facebook,
Yeah,
Yes.
clearly.
but it just said Donald Trump has given TikTok a 90-day extension. So not
Shut your
Hey.
mouth.
Mhm.
Hot news that people are just going to hear Wednesday.
breaking
Yeah, yeah.
news.
Breaking
This-
news on
this-
Sunday. No, it was Saturday.
This happened last week.
Yeah.
Shelly, when you come back, our streak is not broken.
Oh, yes. The stupid streaks you get on. I'm like, are you like, do you think I'm a little kid? And I'm like, ooh, I got to share so I can get my streak up. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that something that you're excited about?
Shelly and I do that, so kiss my butt.
I get automatic streaks, but it's not like a thing that makes me want to send more videos to people. So I'm sorry. If I poo-pooed on your fun, I'm sorry.
You yucked my yum. Moving on. Go
Moving
ahead.
on. So, horror in 2024. A peel behind the curtain, pulling it back for Roger, because we talked about it last week. Peeling many curtains back.
Who's the man behind the curtain?
That's
Derek?
right. So, I got this information from numbers.com. Can I just say, I love how it's total mom mode, because it's just a look and, a finger point.
And he stopped.
And it's just, it comes down. Beautiful. Beautiful. Should be a deductible.
It
That's all I'm
should
saying.
be.
Should
For,
be.
for those who can't see, if this makes it to the podcast, Brody started acting up, and I gave him a look and pointed, and Derek's actually on the side of the table where Brody is.
Yeah.
And
I can't see the dog, so I'm just seeing
Do you want to
Lisa giving mom looks
Exactly.
and the dog being quiet.
you want to grab him a pretzel? The pretzel, maybe it'll keep him quiet.
Go ahead, Roger.
Roger, you can do it. You got legs.
He's got legs.
Good old long legs, Roger. Ah? Oh,
Sometimes he doesn't
topical,
know how to
topical,
use them.
perhaps. I mean,
My husband does not have a butt. There's
no
no
butt, no dad, and no butt club.
there's
Me and
no
Roger.
no cake there.
I know. I didn't tell you. I'm probably taking this off because we're getting way in the weeds. But
That's fine.
when we went to Tennessee, we went for a nice little nature hike with our family. And when we were coming back down the trail, there was a mama bear and her cubs. And, not wanting to disrupt them, we decided, because the road wasn't far away, it was just, we could see it. So we're like, we'll hike through the trees and we'll get to the road and we'll walk that way so we don't disrupt mama. So we're all making it through, trying to find the safest way to the road. I went to step on what I thought was like a solid limb of a tree that was like fell over. Completely broke. And I fell square on my left butt cheek on a rock.
Ouch.
It was so painful that my whole butt cheek just turned purple the next day. It was nasty for a long time. I still can feel it a little bit every so often. Like if it's cold outside, I'm like, ooh, my left butt cheek.
So first off, if that happened to me, I'd poop my pants because that's scary.
It sucked. It was so painful. And then I cut my head somewhere, and Carrie Carrie put a nice little Band-Aid on it for me. She took care of me very much so. So yeah, that was terrible.
But secondly, you should get that tattooed on your butt cheek. You know how old school Batman
the purple?
Pow, bam. That's what you should get on your butt cheek. Bam. Ouch.
Maybe that'd be yeah. I do like that idea.
I'm happy you survived.
I am too.
They're holding hands. Anyways,
On my lap.
I'm rubbing my hand up a thigh too.
All right, so let's circle back around. So first segment is horror in 20.
Wait, yeah, the behind the curtain.
Just doing it. Did you guys take gummies?
No, I did
No.
not.
All right.
I almost did.
I wouldn't be upset.
Would you like some? No, you had to drive back. Never mind.
All right.
Why has Derek been sitting in our driveway for 3 hours? Thinking he's driving home.
comes-
Jared, I'm just
Hey.
sitting there moving the steering wheel, and Ian's sleeping.
Fucking traffic.
No, Ian's like, I'm going back to Lisa and Rogers and playing Killer Clowns.
Yeah, Ian's. Yeah. And nothing points to that more than the opening scene, her audition,
Yep.
where she gives it, but then it gets to this other point. You're like, was that necessary?
Mhm.
But that's Hollywood.
Yep. The
So-
cost of fame.
I made Lisa do it on our first date. I was like,
You had to recite
yeah, I
a
was
script.
No, but first date, his first two questions were, do you have kids?
Yes.
What's your credit score?
Oh.
I'm getting no lady that has massive amounts of debt and
Nothing below
bad credit.
720. What's the breaking point on the credit score?
Yeah. Probably below 700.
Okay. Fair.
Well, it tells a lot
Responsible.
about. It tells a lot about. Yeah. It
Yeah,
tells a lot about
yeah,
a person.
you gotta-
Of course, people have made mistakes.
By the
and
way,
bad
we're taking
investments
all
or
that
young.
shit out. No one gives a fuck.
But it's comical.
Some of it wound up on the. It was just. Oh, it was funny. It was like, oh,
But
we're
anyways,
talking about credit
so
scores.
so back to it. Yeah. So
Maxine.
Maxine's.
Some I'm not proud of.
I'm gonna be honest, Roger. I have never seen you pissed. I've only seen calm, cool Roger.
Oh.
I've never
90
seen. Are
He's there.
Are there things that set you off, Roger?
99% of the time I'm calm, cool, and collected. I don't even
Yeah.
like that. I don't like being yelled at. I don't yell at people.
You don't. Well, no one likes being yelled
But but even if somebody's yelling at me, I won't yell back unless they push a certain button.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, but if it goes off, it's Lisa's seen it, and it's gonna be scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
The best way I can compare it is Jaws, the black eyes. His eyes go pitch black, and there's no care.
feeling.
His feelings gone. He
It's-
doesn't care, and
It's
he
sociopath.
it's bad.
Sociopath, Roger. That's why
Wow.
I describe
It's
it because
bad.
I don't. When I get to a point, I just feel hot and I don't feel anything. No feeling, no nothing. I just go numb.
Okay.
And I just don't care, and it can be dangerous. And usually those situations, I feel that I walk away, and
That's good.
I tell her I'm like, I'm just gonna walk away.
How
We'll come
do you get rid of that anger? If you walk away, is it just
back. Just jerk off?
Oh my God.
Just release
Why did
it,
I ask?
Release it. No, I'm joking.
why?
But no, I just walk away
I
and
mean-
just sit down for about 5 minutes and breathe. That's it.
That could be meditation.
And jerk
close.
off and jerk
Yeah.
it and touch it myself.
So Derek, let's get back to you. What is your bronze, darling?
I was gonna say, are you looking for the physical media?
Of course.
I would say yes, and I usually have no say in the physical media whatsoever. Here and
question.
there.
Hello, Noel.
Listen,
You're talking Christmas ornament movie. That
Oh.
is so.
I have a happiness. Noel.
you know Noel.
I love Noel growing
Oh
up.
my God!
It is so dark and depressing.
It is kind of
so
sad.
dark.
It's,
It's the darkest
but
Christmas
I
movie ever.
loved it.
I loved
the tear from the the
It's his
blower
happiness.
into the ornament.
It's his happiness.
And his voice is so sweet.
I know.
I
Wow.
have. Where do you have it? You have a physical copy?
Yeah.
It's
So
a-
my
it's a
hold on.
nice
Okay. Oh my God.
My parents, my mom and dad know I love this movie. You cannot find it anywhere.
I've searched for it, and it's it's not on DVD
you
or
can't
anything.
find it. So my mom,
Good Lord.
it was like 2 or 3 Christmases ago. She's like, here. And she was so excited. And I opened it up. And I'm like, oh my God, you got me Noel on DVD. So we come home that night. It's a bootleg video.
Is it like someone's living room and it's just like
It's like YouTube. or
No, it's
something.
like no.
Yeah.
It's like you know how old school VHS you watch it live, but you put the tape in to
and it
record
starts-
it.
Yeah.
That's what this
Oh,
person did.
It was a recorded
Because-
on the TV.
But
Did it have
this-
commercials
No,
in it
no
too?
commercials.
Yes,
Oh,
it
that
did.
is?
Fucking awesome.
That was the best part,
Oh.
especially at the end with the credits, and it goes live this Friday, and it
Oh,
named
yeah.
the like picket fences. I'm like, oh my God, this is 90s.
But that is perfect because that's how you watched it.
Yes!
So why else you want the commercials? You want the the talk over.
So
oh God.
Not
that's
only
amazing.
not only was Roger making fun of that and laughing his ass off, I cry at the end of Noel all the time. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, and
I
he's
haven't seen it since I
laughing
was a kid.
at me over there.
I'm like, what did I just watch? Why do I feel sad now about Christmas? Christmas is scary. I just want to go kill myself.
Anyways, so so
That's
physical
how it makes you
media.
feel. It's depressing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but it was
Oh, man.
like
It even
It
came
stuck
with,
with
the
me, and I'm
Noel
like,
bulb.
yeah, it did. Oh, it did came with a
They
bulb.
they gave me
a
a
red
Noel
bulb.
with his face. He's like,
We still have it, right? It didn't
yeah,
break?
yeah,
Okay.
no, it didn't break.
Oh,
But anyway,
wow.
so physical media. Back to it, guys.
Yes.
Can I go pee first?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Does anyone need to
I
take?
just need a pee break.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
It's the coffee.
It's the copy.
It's the coffee.
Should we
Ian,
take
you
this
want to
into
come
the
talk on the mic?
Should we take this into the bathroom? You can listen. You guys can listen
It's
to
gonna
me.
take us a little bit.
It's
By the way,
yo.
we're at 2 hours.
We always are when we record.
It's always fun with you guys. Yeah, this year, depending on how the bracket turns out, it's gonna be
Interesting.
interesting.
You need to watch more bad movies, Eric.
Yeah. We don't have enough bad movies on. We started off with Street Trash pretty early on.
Oh God, I couldn't even get through
We
that.
gotta watch the remake. We gotta watch the remake.
No, we
Nope.
don't.
Nope. Actually, my buddy, he did his recording for his podcast, Top 10 Horror Films, and one of the guys on the podcast had Street Trash, the remake, as one of his. It was either in his top 10 or an honorable mention. I can't remember, but I was blown away. I was like, what the fuck? Like, someone actually watched that remake? It's like astounding. And like that movie, like straight up, that movie's made for me. Like, I want stupid shit. And I want practical effects, and I'm in. Like, that movie was made for me. The fact that they used that as a Trojan horse for a fucking a terrible episode of NYPD Blue is what pissed me off so much about that movie. I know I'm talking about a movie you didn't watch, and I apologize.
In all fairness, I got to 20 minutes.
So watch the first 5 and the last 15.
Okay, and then we're done.
Cut off everything else. But yeah, I think that's why I dislike that movie so much, is the fact that I was like, ooh, this movie's made for me, especially like within the first 5 minutes, like seeing people melting and like
Yeah.
a dude melting and falling into a toilet. Yes, give me that. I want all of that. So it pissed me off when I was like, what is this bullshit? I'm dealing with these stupid cops and this guy running a junkyard, and it was sad.